Yeah, I fucked up. So, sorry I'm late, guys. I am all over the shop. I, for some reason, thought my video was at 11:30 this morning, and I'm the one who made it. So, yeah, what a prat. It was actually at 11 o'clock, and I do apologise for the lateness. I really do. Very sorry for that. Thank you, guys, for everyone who did hang about waiting and chatting in the live chat, and yeah, entertaining yourselves for a little bit. I apologise, but I'm here now. Yeah, what a div. What a complete div. I absolutely thought it was I set. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll give up. I literally thought I set this at 11:30, but I set it at 11. What a plonker. I'm sitting downstairs at 11:15 just a minute ago, just having a cup of tea, thinking, right, let's finish this cup of tea, go upstairs, get ready for the video. I'll turn my computer on at 11:10, go on my YouTube channel and see that it's meant to be starting at 11 p.m. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. What a div. I'm an idiot, and I admit I'm an idiot. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Lovely day out today, guys. A big up to anyone that is actually watching on a Saturday morning with this lovely weather. And I hope you're all good, guys. I'm going to get through these chats first. Then we'll get bang on with the show. But everyone's doing really well today. Big up my good friend Stevie. Stop, man, stop! Bzzah! In the house. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, I hope you're doing well, my man. I hope you're doing well. Big up Daz as well. Niall, how you doing, my friend? Big up Jamie. Great debate stream and the Stubbsies last night. It certainly was. Big up Niall. I was talking to Stubbsy. Big up Mr. Conway, the living legend himself, Mr. Jonathan Conway. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Webby in the house. Jamie, I reckon you need a catchphrase when you start your shows. You think I need a catchphrase? What sort of catchphrase do you think I should get? What sort of catchphrase? What's the things I say that I can make a catchphrase? Let me know. Can you see Chamberlain leaving Jamie with the club signing? Yeah, we're going to talk about that now. We're going to talk about that in the show today, my friend. Big up, Dad. Big up, Edward P in the house. How you doing, Eddie? Big up, Gunben. How you doing, my friend? Sorry about the lateness, guys. I do apologise. I do a big apologise there. Big up, Doug. How you doing, my man? Jamie on that Caribbean time. You know, don't you, Vic? You know. Doug says we need to talk about Alice in the White. By the way, is he injury prone? We can talk about that. Lateness is great. So no, I was definitely late. Oh, good God. Everyone's chatting to each other, obviously, in the chat. So Gunben says about Alice, no. He's not injury prone. He's just had a little niggle. Would be fine. Klopp just doesn't want to risk end of it. Exactly. I can't say who's on the chat as it's Jamie's channel. We are on, and that's fair, Tim. DM me and I'll tell you who. Oh, okay, I know what that's about. No worries. I know what that's about. I know what that's about. Morning all. Hope you're all well. Big up Ryan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Vic, I think we need a right side attacker and a dynamic box to box, in my opinion. I agree. Big up Ryan. Morning, Steve. Keeping well, mate. I love how Stubbsy's kept my chat going till I got here. Big up Stubbsy. Keeping my chat going till I got here, entertaining the people. If we don't get a right side attacker, maybe we could get a breakthrough year from Kate Gordon. No good. Yeah, see, look, Stubbsy's keeping it going for me. There you go. Jamie's having a lay-in. No, I'm not. I've been up since like 7 o'clock this morning with my kids. I've just been sitting downstairs. I literally been sitting downstairs, just having a chilled one, just chilling out, having a cup of tea, watching morning programs with the kids. They're playing with their Play-Doh in the front room, making a mess. And I'm just sitting there having a cup of tea, chilling out, oblivious to the time. And then coming up here and realise I started this video for 11 o'clock and not 11:30. It's me just sipping away, chilling out, taking my time, you know, catching everything up, reading Twitter, talking to Stubbsy. And then I realised that, oh, shit, I'm actually on at 11 o'clock, not 11:30, and I'm the one who made the video. What a prat. Big up Cav. Big up Cav. Stubbsy kept this. Stubbsy's kept the chat going. He's kept the flow going. Big up Stubbsy. I have to send him a check. Tropicano for Fabinho. That is a hell of a name. Big up to you. Morning, Noel. Big up Stubbsy. Big up Red Scout as always. Yeah, I'm reading it. I'm going to read it after this, Red Scout. I'll have a little read, my friend. I'll have a little read. Later than Coppish. Yeah, I was proper late today. This is madness, ain't it? It's proper mad, guys. It's proper mad. No, I'm proper mad. No one that's Coppish. There you go. Cav just subbed as well to Statman's channel. Yes, big up to everyone. Big up. And there's me coming in at 11:15 like a plonker. Jamie Phillips, get your bum in here, run. Fastest email, Jamie's coming. No rush, Jamie. We're going nowhere. Big up, people. Big up in the chat. Big up in the chat. Here he comes. Boom. Yes, Jamie, a brilliant intro. Love it, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Morning, Captain Sal. Big up, Red Scout. Big up, Ryan. Great watch along yesterday, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got some nice feedback from the watch along yesterday. I do appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I enjoyed the watch along yesterday. Got some nice feedback. It was a good show. Had a good time. And yeah, we really getting back into my watch alongs, getting my commentator's voice back. Once the commentator's voice is back, the watch alongs will be blowing up everywhere, guys. So I do appreciate it. Thanks to everyone coming in. There's 27 watching right now, 18 likes. You know what I say, guys? 27 watching, 27 likes. So if you've not done it already, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Go and press that fun button right underneath the video right now. If you've never done it before, it's free of charge. It don't cost you a thing. It doesn't affect you. Literally just go and press the fun button. Simple as that. Get the likes way up, guys. Does help loads. Big up Savage. Big up Jamie in chat. I feel like TalkSport has turned his head up for fuck's sake. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I have got let everyone know right now, I have got another interview Monday afternoon, and it ain't with TalkSport, but it is with another broadcasting company. So I'll tell everyone right now. So I've been having an interview with a broadcasting company. They watched my channel. Someone got in touch with them. I think what else is that? Mark Goldbridge, I think, was what mentioned this channel because he mentioned this channel as well. There's been a bit of buzz lately. I don't know why. I really don't get it. But yeah, there's been a bit of buzz lately on the channel. Subscribers gone up like over 200 subs in the last few days, which is a big up to everyone who's subscribed. By the way, if you're new to the channel, big up to yourself and thank you for coming in. And another broadcasting company has contacted me and wants me to do a video interview on Monday afternoon. So yeah, it's not that one though, Savage. But yeah, another broadcasting company wants me to do an interview on Monday afternoon. And that's all I can tell you right now. I can't tell you anything else, guys, because I'll get in trouble. No, it weren't a late night. Actually, tell a lie. It was a semi-late night because I watched the final episode of Stranger Things with the wife. Savage is going to kill me now, right? I watched the final episode of Stranger Things with my wife last night. You know, the 2.5 hour one. So I finished my video with Steve last night. I was on Steve's show last night. Finished that, and I promised the wife would watch it. So we went down about 10:15 last night, and we watched the rest of that. It's like 2.5 hours long. And then I went to bed. So it was a semi-late one. But I got up early. But yeah. It was an okay episode. The ending was shit. But it was an okay episode. Ending was a bit naff. The fight was a bit naff. But it was all right. Oh, yeah. Big up Savage, the living legend. He'll be on tonight. So, guys, if you want to see Savage, he'll be on. Hugo Savage will be on the show tonight. Remember, guys, I've got my debate show tonight at 8 p.m. I've got my debate show There's going to be myself, Savage, Cass from once Never a Foul YouTube show. He's a Man United fan coming on with, and also Tommy from the Hotspur Hub at the Hotspur. Oh, for fuck's sake! It used to be called Tommy Talks, but now it's the Hotspur Hub, I do believe. Yeah, he's coming in from to talk everything about Tottenham Hotspur as well. And then you got Savage as well, the Liverpool guy. I'll be mediating the debate. Yeah. Hopefully Guna Lee will be on as well, talking to Arsenal. So we need some Arsenal representation. And I need to find a Chelsea fan for tonight. I'm hopefully getting one in. I gave the Shed End Chelsea YouTube show. I don't know if you guys know it, but tweeted. Hopefully they're coming on tonight as well. So yeah, big stuff happening tonight, 8 p.m. Hopefully it's a good show and hopefully you're all there. Also, I've had a DM. I don't know why. Manscaped actually DM'd me on Twitter last night and asked me to get in touch with them. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, should be a fun one. Yeah, so loads of weird things happening. Loads of weird things are happening on the channel lately. Loads of things happening. So Manscaped DM'd me about. I noticed it was about 2 a.m. this morning. So yeah, they DM'd me about 2 a.m. this morning. Asked me to get back in touch with them. They got something they want to talk about with me with. I've got to get in touch with them now. Yeah, I've got a meeting on Monday afternoon with a broadcaster. Can't tell you who, but yeah, stuff's happening. But I hope everyone's good. No sleeping in for me. I've got 3 kids. The chances of it, you know what I mean? Big up Chris. Big up Football Content Factory. Everyone go and subscribe to his channel, please. Good bloke. Go and check him out. Morning, Stubbsy. Morning, Cav. I know Savage loves it. Mendy fucked up. I know Savage loves it. So just for him, just for Savage.
Life. Can play left back might be a bit different. Mendy almost went to pick that up there, and then he's passed it completely wrong. Mendy's fucked up. 3-1 Real Madrid. 3-1 Real Madrid. Benzema hat trick. 50 seconds into the second half. Mendy fucked up. What was he doing? He can't kick a ball.
There you go. Just for Savage, because I know he loves it. Mendy fucked up. Wonton Super Noodles. Big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Jamie gets more recognition than Gabriel Bonglaw, which isn't hard. Big up, yeah. If I can't get more on Gabby, I'm doing something wrong, you know what I mean? Big up Statman. Jamie, you need a co-host, Stubbsy, Doug and Savage to keep the chat going while you're on air, mate. Yeah, they do anyway. They're all good at it. Morning, Jamie. How you doing today? At least we won and wore red yesterday. Yeah, big up, right, Daz. Big up. Stubbs been good, been a good mod. Yeah, Stubbs is the man. He's my good friend. You know, he's my good friend. Shahid, how you doing? Hello, Jamie. How you today, mate? I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Yeah, I had a good. I've had a good few days, to be fair, guys. I'm in like a good mood. I'm in a good place in my life at the moment. You know, the kids are good. The wife's doing well with her business as well. She's doing really well. She's doing more orders. Job things catching on fire now. I'm really proud of her. Yeah, she's doing really well. So yeah, everything's good in the house. Everything's good in my life, in my household, and my family at the moment. You know, Penny's got her surgery on the 15th of September. You know, and once, you know, and she's after that, she's going to be grand as well. And for members on the channel, guys, all members on the channel, I'm be doing a special video, me and Penny on the channel. So if you want see that video of me and my daughter Penny wants to talk to you guys about everything. She loves you guys, so she wants to talk to you. So me and Penny will be doing a special little video for members next week. So if you want to see that video, only members will be allowed to see it. So if you want to be a member, please join the membership today, and members will be able to see that video. Appreciate it. Great watch along yesterday, Jamie. Liverpool back to winning ways. We had fun when we smashed you 4-0. I know I got stick for it last night on Statman's to put me on the spot. Big up. Big up, Noel. Big up, Jamie. Great watch along yesterday. Thank you very much. Is it Thursday? Next one, Jamie? Next what? What watch along? Yeah, whenever Liverpool play, I'll do the watch along. Yeah, I think it is next Thursday. Yeah. I'm going to try and do my first watch along for the Leipzig game. Keep doing what you're doing as you're smashing it, mate. Thank you very much. Get the likes up. Be out, Jane. Great watch along yesterday. Thank you very much. No. So just a private interview. No, it's a private interview, mate. I think they're just they're Skyping me or whatever. It's just a private one. Like Gabriel Morgan sales. Yeah. You're the best at what you do. That's why, Jamie. Big up, Ryan. Expect it. Respect stranger things. Oh, there would come for me at that. The finale, did it have to be 2.5 hours long? Right, I'm just going to get the Stranger Things out of the way with, because as everyone knows, I found it boring, yeah? My wife went back and watched it, so I've just watched the last 3 episodes of the season 4, and I've caught up straight away. I don't need to see all of it now. Them last 3 episodes tells me everything about the whole story. It's basically I think they're twin brothers, ain't it, who made this show or something like that. Basically, they were big Star Wars fans and big Silent Hill fans, and went, I want to merge them both together and make a program, and that's Stranger Things. It's basically what it is. It's basically Star Wars and Silent Hill squished together. But it was decent. But did it need to be 2.5 hours long? Did it need to be 2.5 hours long? I won't spoil anything. Did it have to be 2.5 hours long? That's all I'm saying. Don't think so. I mean, the last 40 minutes was filler. Like, literally, the last 40 minutes of that 2.5 hour episode was filler. The question itself is a joke. Yes, we need the new player, not just a new players, not just a new player. We need 3 players, a right winger, cover, and 2 midfielders. Curtis Naby knocks out. RP. Yeah, we need new players. I agree. I wouldn't get rid of Naby though. I thought Naby looked all right yesterday. And Jamie, you think about Liverpool win the Community Shield? It's a nice trophy. What do you think about Liverpool winning the Community? I think we should go and try and win the Community Shield. I've already said that. I don't look at the Community Shield as a friendly. I don't look at it as a friendly. It's Liverpool, Man City. It's 1 week before the Premier League starts. I expect to see 2 very, very strong teams having a very competitive game of football, in my opinion. I don't think it'd be that much of a friendly. And I don't think the Community Shield should be a friendly. It used to be the FA Cup winners versus the Premier League winners. So it's always usually 2 very strong sides going at it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Abs would be good, mate. I think we'll go for it, Shahir. Everyone says glorified friendly, but both teams take it seriously. Exactly. We need 2, a midfielder, Nunes, a right winger. Anthony said Red Scout. Sponsorship from Manscaped. It's sponsorship, bro. That's how they messaged me. All right, yeah. I just got a DM. I literally just got a DM like late last night asking me to get back to them. They want something to talk to me about. So yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for that sort of thing. So your balls and jewels, so thank you. Manscaped sponsor Jamie Phillips. Yeah, let's have a look. Hopefully Wash and Go will sponsor you. Oh, that's Goldbridge's act, isn't it? But yeah, Andrew, how you doing? They want you to shave downstairs, Jamie. So does the wife, probably. Big up to everyone in the chat, though. Big up to everyone in the chat. Morning, Paul. How you doing, mate? Yeah, of course. 2 games in, 2 players down. Squad's looking thin already. Jamie is going big places. The guy is so big he sponsors PSV in the stadium. His name. Could you imagine? Because it's Phillips, ain't it? I get you. I get you. Stranger Things is actually sick. I'm not even a fan of sci-fi normally. Haaland looks like a creature out of Stranger Things. No, Haaland looks like the ghost in the painting in Ghostbusters 2. Is it Vigo? Or is that him? You know the ghost in the painting in Ghostbusters 2? That's who Haaland looks like. Hang on, let me find it. Hang on. Is it? I think it's Vigo. Is it Ghostbusters? I think it is. I remember his name now. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. Oh yeah. It's definitely him. I don't care what anyone says. That is definitely him. Let's see if I can get this up for you. Yeah, there you go. Right, this is definitely. Look, I'm going to show everyone right now. Hang on. There we go. Here we go. Right. You want to know? I'm telling you, this is Haaland, without a shadow of a doubt. That is Haaland. If you're telling me that ain't Haaland, look at that. Vigo from Ghostbusters 2. That is Haaland, without a shadow of a doubt. When Haaland's hair starts to go a little bit, he starts to recede. Look at that. If that ain't Haaland, I don't know who is. You know what I mean? That is definitely him. Naby played well yesterday. I thought Naby did really well yesterday. I was watching Saints channel as well. Watched a bit of Saints channel last night as well. And he didn't think Naby played well. And I was a bit shocked to that. I thought Naby had a good game. The weather is absolutely roasting today, yeah. Well, down in the south, I don't know what it's like up more north up where Liverpool, Andrew, but down in the south on Tuesday, it's going to be 41 and 33 at night. That is just, it's unbearable. Let's face it. I hope that I want to see Liverpool win the Community Shield trophy. Come on, Liverpool. Luck for that. Big up. Big up, Luke. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Manscaped also sponsored a lot of Field Agenda shows. So big up to you, mate. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Standard J, ring them for a sponsor your channel. Could you imagine? I think I need about at least 100,000 subs for them. Hi, guys. Don't forget to like and share Haaland's dad. It is Haaland, ain't it? I'm telling you. Luke, big up, Luke. Not Luke, mate. It's Ricky today. Big up, mate. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's hard. It just looks a spit of Haaland, don't it? Haaland ain't the best looking chap. He certainly is not. I think the Community Shield is a friendly, but it's the one we must go with. Yeah, Community Shield is a friendly, but let's face it, it's Liverpool versus Man City a week before the Premier League starts. It's the two biggest, I'd say the two biggest rivals domestically at the moment, but not as rivals as such as Liverpool, Man United are rivals. Hatred and death and hate and horribleness and all that shit. No, this is a rivalry between the two best clubs in the country. So, yeah, they want to beat each other and put a marker down. That's why I'm looking forward to it. Klopp, we'll sign in more players. That is Liverpool. Right, let's talk about it, guys. So now I've got through all the chat. Sorry, I was so late. So we're through the chat now. Let's talk about what this video is about. So, obviously, Diogo Jota got injured. It's an injury carrying on from the international games when he was playing for Portugal at the end of the season. I'm not surprised. It's not just Liverpool that's having a few players injured at the moment. It's quite a lot of teams up and down the league this pre-season have got a few injuries because what the managers are saying, these players had to carry on playing football as soon as the club season finished. Now, as soon as the club season finished, that should have been it. The players should have all gone on holiday, but no, FIFA and UEFA are like, no, you know what? We've got the World Cup in November and December, so we're going to have to do a lot of international friendlies for this Nations League tournament at the end of the season. And everyone's like, no, we want time there, but no, they have to go. So Jota got an injury playing for Portugal in his hamstring, and he had a recurrence for that in pre-season, which I'm not surprised about. He's not rested. So the problem with Jota, he might be out till the beginning of the season, which if that's the case, we won't see the real Jota till at least September, because you've got to feel if he's having no pre-season and then he's fit again, 2 or 3 games going into the brand new season, he needs to be brought into the team slowly because he hasn't had a pre-season. So we might not see the best of Jota till September, which is mad. Now, with Ox, I think he had a hamstring injury as well. I don't even know how the Ox injured himself. Does anyone actually know? Does anyone actually know how the Ox injured himself? Because, to be fair, I thought the Ox played all right, I thought the Ox played all right. I was watching the game, as everyone knows, I was doing the watch along. And I was watching it. I thought, you know what, Ox has done all right. Ox has done all right today. And then he had a nice. I remember he ran from our box to their box, turned the defender, he turned the attacker. Nice little flick around the corner of the Palace player, took another Palace player on, direct run up to the other end, played the ball out wide, and then went back to receive the ball in the box. Missed his shot, got the ball back, and then got a shot in on target. And then he sat on his arse. And I was like, what's going on here? He never went to his hamstring once and pulled up. So, I thought he hurt his groin, but they're saying it's an hamstring injury. So it's a weird one with Ox, which is a shame because I thought the Ox showed spells of what he can do in that game yesterday, what he is capable of. But these injuries now are becoming a problem. When you're just doing what he did yesterday and he gets injured from it, it's becoming an issue. So we need... it's time to get someone in. And I'm looking at it now. If we got no Ox and Jota for the beginning of the season, it makes us a little thin already. I think we need to go into the transfer market. I think we need to have a look because, as I keep saying, our forward line at this moment in time, when everyone's fit, is Jota, Diaz, Salah, Nunez, and Bobby, and maybe Carvalho, depending where he's going to play, yeah? Now, if Jota's gone already, that's 4 attackers at this moment in time. 3 of them play. 1 of them's on the bench. If we're playing 3 up top with 5 subs allowed, we need 2 attackers on the bench every time, in my opinion. Now, if you can't Carvalho as an attacker, then you can say, Jay, we've got 2 attackers on the bench. So if Salah, Diaz, and Nunez are the front 3, then you've got Bobby on the bench and Carvalho on the bench. I personally don't think that's strong enough. So I think we need to get an attacker in. I'd be happy with Jota, Bobby, and Carvalho on the bench. Don't get me wrong. That 3 is perfect. Jota, Carvalho, and Bobby, that's fine. That's 3 good attackers on the bench. Carvalho can play the 10, the midfield, and the attack. So he's a utility player. And then you've got Jota who can play off the left and middle, and Bobby who can play in the middle. So that's 3 decent attackers on the bench, yeah? But when Jota's injured and Bobby's not been the Bobby of old, I think personally we need another attacker. Now, obviously we've been very linked, massively linked, not massively, but we have been linked with Anthony from Ajax. Now, I'm a bit like this on Anthony from Ajax. The man only got 7 goals last season. Now, if I told you guys right now, and you didn't know if you didn't know who he was, and you've never seen him, you didn't know who he was. So I'm just telling you right now, guys, we're buying this player from Ajax. Yeah, he's a right wing attacker, and he's worth between 50 and 60 million. But he only scored 7 to 8 goals last season for Ajax in the Dutch league. I expect everyone will be going, oh, I don't know about that. He only scored 7 to 8 goals last season, and they want 50 million for him, and he plays for Ajax in the Dutch league where he should be scoring goals. Not too sure about that one. So I'm a bit like that with Alex. I'm a bit like that with Alex. Now, I look at Saka at Arsenal. Is there much difference between Saka and Alex? Really? Or is it just because Alex is Brazilian? Anthony's Brazilian, sorry. I think he's Brazilian. And Saka's an English boy. Is there actually much difference? Is there much difference between the two of them? Because I look at Anthony, I've seen a few games of him. He's okay. He's good on the eye. This is what I keep saying. When everyone goes about eye test is a good thing sometimes, but I say it about Jack Grealish all the time. Jack Grealish looks fantastic on the eye. You know, looks pretty. He's good on the ball. He dribbles. He takes players on. You know, he looks a part. He looks the player. But then he's got no end product. You know, but all everyone keeps remembering when you see someone like Jack Grealish for a whole season do the same thing all the time. You know, take 3 or 4 players on. You know, nice little pass here, nice little turn, bit of a rainbow flick. You know, things like that. And you see that every week, and you go, yeah, top draw player. But then you look at it in a serious point of view and go, no end product. He's that good, but the end product isn't as good. Now, I'd rather end product over style every day of the week. I don't care what anyone says. That's just me personally. You can have all the flair and style in the world, but if you don't have no end product, what is the point? I'll tell you a player like that, Charisma. Charisma was a bit like that. The man had more style and flair than Ronaldo at the time when they were both coming through. I think they sort of both came through at the same sort of age, Charisma and Ronaldo. And at first, Charisma was the one everyone was talking about. Everyone was talking about Charisma. He had more style. He had more flair. You know, he was better on the eye. But he had no end product. He had nothing going on at the final third. Ronaldo, when he was young, had all the style and flair, but no end product. And then he started to learn not to do so much style and flair and then just do end product. I remember Alex Ferguson told him, stop doing all this flair stuff, stop doing all this crap, and just do more about beat the player, put a cross in, or get a shot out. That's what Ferguson told him. And Ronaldo started to do that, and he carried it on in his career. Now, obviously, he's still got flair because he's Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah? But he dialed that down much more to think more about end product. And I'm more like that. I'm more substance over style. I've always been substance over style. You can do both. Of course you can. You know, Ronaldinho could do both. Messi could do both. Ronaldo can do both. But there's a lot of players out there. Ziyech at Chelsea. When he was at Ajax, everyone would say, oh my God, look at him. He's so good. Look away he dribbles. Look away he can cross. He's got a good long shot on him. Look away he takes players on. He's substance. You know, it was style over substance again with him as well. Anthony, is it the same thing with Anthony? Is Anthony more style over substance? This is what I keep saying, guys. I'm a bit like this with Diaz at the moment. I'm not going to pretend I'm not. I'm a bit like this with Luis Diaz at the moment. Is Luis Diaz got all the style and no substance at this moment in time? Because till I see different, that's what I'm going to think of Luis Diaz at the moment. Now, Mo Salah used to be a more tricky winger back in the day. Mo used to be a more of a tricky winger. Used to think more of his style and how he looked over substance. And now, if you talk to Mo, like if you listen to Mo, like if you talk to Mo, like you're his mate. What am I on about? But if you listen to Mo, he talks mostly about now. He wants goals and assists. He's not interested there in like taking 77 players on and doing this and that. But he can do it, and he will do it, like he did against Watford and he did against Man City. But there's no point doing all that if you don't have nothing at the end of it. Now, his goals against Watford and Man City at the beginning of last season, yeah? The reason we remember him so well is because he had substance to go with his style, yeah? The Man City game, putting Bernardo Silva in his arse, going past Ruben Diaz and Laporte, and then doing that goal. We all remember it. For me, it was the goal of the season last year because who he did it to. You know, doing that to Man City is world class. And for me, that's why it was goal of the season last year. But if he didn't score and he hit the post or put it wide, it doesn't really matter about the bit he did before that. Do you know what I mean? About taking people on and putting people in their arse, because it didn't mean anything. It looked good, but at the end of the day, it didn't do anything in front of goal. Do you know what I mean? Now, with Anthony, I will say this right now. I've not seen enough of him. I don't know, if he... All I look at is the stats of Anthony. So, because I don't know anything about him much, because I haven't watched him much, I've seen the stats of him. 7 or 8 goals last season for me is not that great, considering the league you're playing in. And apparently he plays as a right and left winger. So he plays in the attacking areas of the pitch. And the ability he does have, and he's damn sure got ability, because I've seen him bits myself, he definitely has got ability. I don't think he scores enough goals. So the money they're asking for him, for me, is a lot of money with no end product. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying don't buy Anthony. I'm saying go for him. But I don't think he's worth 60 million, because if you're an attacker in this game of football these days, in this era of football, you look at the wide attackers in this era of football, they all score goals. They're all goal scorers, or they're all assist merchants. They do one or the other. And I need to see that for 60 million. Now, everyone knows I rave about Bowen on this channel, Savage as well. I say that as well. Like me and Savage say this about Bowen. We've been going on about Bowen for a year. Like I think Bowen's quality. Yeah, I think Bowen's quality, and I think he got about the same amount of goals as Anthony last season in the Premier League. He probably got the same amount of goals as Anthony in the Premier League last season. Now, if I had a choice between the two of them, I'd probably go for Bowen, because if he got the same amount of goals as Anthony, but in a much harder league, a more competitive league, and got the same amount of goals as Anthony in the Dutch league, I'd rather have Bowen in, because, firstly, I watch him every week. I know what he's capable of. I mean, if I was an Ajax fan watching this right now and they going, Jamie, you're talking crap. You don't watch Anthony every week, so you don't know. That is true. I don't watch him every week. If I watched him every week, I'd probably be raving. He's worth more than 70. He's like £120 million player. What's it one getting about? 60 million is cheap for him. But as I say, I don't watch him every week. I just see what I see, read the stats. But with someone like Bowen, I see it every week. And if he's got the same amount of goals as Anthony in the Dutch league, I would go for Bowen if they're the same price. That's just me personally. But we do need a right-sided forward. But the hardest position to buy a player in our team right now is a right-sided forward. It's the hardest place to buy a player, because you've got to look at it. You've got to buy a player that knows they're not going to play every week. And I don't get this rotation thing. I mean, everyone, they can rotate every week. You really think Salah's going to rotate every week? Did Barcelona, when they bought a player, did they go to Messi? Look, Leo, we know you're the world's greatest footballer, but I've just bought this player for 70 million, right? So I'm going to need to rotate you every week so he can play, so he keeps happy. Messi's like, fuck off. I'm not being rotated. What are you chatting about? It's like Madrid going like Ronaldo, Cristiano, listen. Benzema is quality. He bangs goals for fun, mate. But since you come in, his goals are dried up, So we go, rotate you a bit so he can, get back on the scoring. Ronaldo's like, fuck that. Do you know who I am? I am not being rotated. Why would Mo Salah be rotated? I don't get it. Lewandowski, right? Robert Lewandowski, yeah. So Rob, meeting tomorrow. We need to talk about you, because we're getting so and so in, and you're going to need to be rotated during the season. Yeah. Well, that ain't happening. It's Lewandowski. I don't get this thing with Liverpool fans We need to rotate. We need to rotate. We need to rotate. The best players in the world don't get rotated. They just don't. They don't get rotated. As simple as that. Mo will not be rotated. Why would he? Why would? All right, let's go and buy Anthony. So we go and buy Anthony from Ajax. Say we go and buy Anthony from Ajax, yeah? Then you got to tell him, firstly, you got to convince him to come to Liverpool. You go, Anthony, look, we need you to come in. We need a backup right winger to Mo Salah, all right? And we think you're the player. Anthony's going to look at it and think, back up to Mo. Look, firstly, I'm looking at Mo Salah if I'm Anthony and going, right, he's the best right-sided forward in world football. There's no doubt about it. Why am I going to come and sit on the bench? Why am I going to come and sit on the bench? Yes, Liverpool's a massive club, one of the biggest in the world, yeah? No doubt about it. But I'm a young lad, want to play World Cup. I need to play football. I can't be sitting on the bench waiting for my moment or coming on a substitution after, 70 minutes of every game and having 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there every single game. That's not enough. So that's why I keep saying that our right-handed side of our attack is the hardest position to get. It was the same with Trent Alexander-Arnold. It took us 3 years to find the right person to come in and rotate with Trent. And I don't think Trent would be rotated. Why would he? Why would he? Why would you rotate Trent? Right, Trent, you're going to play today. Ramsey, you're going to play next week. And then Trent, you'll go 4 games in a row. Then we'll go rest you. Then Ramsey, you'll go get a game here, a game there, and a game there. And no, he's Trent Alexander-Arnold. As long as he's fit and healthy, he plays. Yes, if they get into the red zone and they're being substituted off and rested, then you can do it. No doubt about it. But our problem with Trent is that he had no one to come off for. So that's why most of the time Trent plays and never is substituted, because you can't substitute him because you've got no right back to come on. Now we've got 5 subs. Trent can come off in games and have like a 20-minute rest and stuff like that and chill out a bit. There might be the odd game here and there during the season where Trent can sit down for, like when we have easy games like Everton at home. You can have Trent sitting on the bench. Oh, Jesus Christ. You can have Trent sitting on the bench and have Ramsey playing that game. But it's so difficult to buy a right back that knows they're not going to see much football because you've got arguably one of the best right backs in world football playing in that position. And it's the same with Mo Salah. You're playing Mo Salah right-sided of an attack, yeah? He's the best in the world at that position. There's not a better player for me on the right side of attack and inside forward, whatever you want to call them, than Mo Salah. Name me one. And I'll debunk it straight away. There isn't one. So buying a player to sit in that position behind Mo, for me, is extremely difficult. Now, if Anthony's the one, fair enough. If Anthony's the one, bring him in. I'll be happy having it. Like, if Anthony comes in, oh yeah, it makes our squad look better. But will he be happy being a backup to Mo Salah? That's my only worry about this. So you've got to get the player correct. The player that comes in has to be really a correct player, because also with the Mo Salah, with the situation on Mo's side of the pitch, the quality drop can't go from there to there when Mo's not on. Yeah. Now the quality drop is always going to fall a bit because it's Mo Salah, right? Because it's Mo Salah, his standards are up here. The quality drop is always going to be a little bit down anyway. It's just the way it is. But you don't want a right-sided attacker just to come to the club knowing they're going to sit on the bench and are happy with that, and then come on every so often for Mo to give him a little bit of rest. And the quality goes from there all the way down to there. That don't make sense to me. There's no point buying the player. There is no point buying a player that plays from there to there in quality. Do you know what I mean? It's just... the rotation thing is just a myth, guys. It's a myth. I don't get it. I don't get it. Who was Henry's? Can someone tell me who was Thierry Henry's replacement when he was at Arsenal, when he didn't play? So if Henry didn't play, or when he got substituted, who usually came on and played in Henry's position, if anyone can remember, at Arsenal? And everyone's going to say yes, but it's a different era now. Jamie is 20. Whatever. I just want to know. I just want to know, because you can imagine telling Arsene Wenger going, look, Thierry, I need a new left-sided attacker, number 9, to come on when you're not playing, because, it's a weird one. We need a player that it's very hard to buy that side. I've spoke to Saint LFC TV about this before, as he says the same as me. It's the hardest position in our squad to find that player who's happy to sit behind Mo. What player's happy to sit on the bench? It's extremely hard to find. Extremely hard to find. And Mo plays every week. Look, if Mo Salah played for Manchester City, because I know people say, Pep rotates his front three all the time. Does he? I mean, does Haaland's going to play every week? Haaland might take a little while to get up to speed with Man City. Once Haaland has got up to a total thing with Man City and is playing well and comfortable and scoring goals, he will hardly ever be rested or dropped. When Kevin De Bruyne is at his full fitness and playing well, he plays every week. He's never really dropped. So, all this rotation thing everyone says about Pep Guardiola, look at Pep's first 11 every week. It's not much difference to it every single week. You keep the same core players playing all the time. It's just a myth that everyone gets rotated. This rotation myth has to stop. You have to have a big squad. You have to have substitutions. Obviously, there's players in your squad that can be rotated. Like a Jordan Henderson can be rotated. There's nothing wrong with that. A Keita can be rotated. A Thiago can be rotated. A Fabinho can be. These sort of players can be rotated. But Mo Salah is not going to be rotated much because he's Mo Salah. It just don't make sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. Tell you what, guys. I'm going to put a link in the chat if anyone wants to come and have their say. If anyone wants to come and have their say on this situation with the right-hand side of Liverpool's attack and what players we need in the midfield area, come and have your say. Let me know. Yeah, I think they did sign Franny Jeffers, and that didn't work. Will Tord and Carnu. I think Carnu played as the number 9 and Omri on the left, weren't it, at times? And then it eventually went to Bergkamp and Omri, didn't it, after they left? So when it was eventually Bergkamp and Omri on their own, I think Will Tord left after a while. This is what I'm saying. They all left, and Omri and Bergkamp was still there. Omri and Bergkamp was still there. So, they still left. That's what I'm saying. You all right, my man?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm a bit annoyed by one thing yesterday was people are criticising Núñez again. Yes, it's been 2 games. There's no goals. You just got to give the guy some time. You've just got to give the guy time.
Yeah,
I thought he was impressed. I thought he was impressive yesterday. The movement off the ball, finding spaces.
Yeah, but people don't. I agree with you, Andrew. People don't look at that though. Now, Núñez made 3 or 4 amazing runs off the shoulder yesterday in his game yesterday. Yeah, but no one found the pass. Even Thiago didn't find the pass, and the commentators even mentioned that, right? But because no one's seeing that, because no one watches football properly, people only watch football for highlights now. I'm convinced of it. A lot of football fans only watch football for highlights. They don't watch a 90-minute game no more. Because as we move on with life now and technology and stuff like that, I think everyone's brains can't handle 90-minute things anymore. We all want things in small chunks, like a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. We can't handle a 90-minute match no more. That's how I think life is going. That's why 10 and 15-minute videos on YouTube do 10 million views, because that's what people can absorb. They can't absorb an hour and a half football match much no more. So I think people really look for highlights in games now. That's all they look for. So when they're watching highlights in games, when broadcasters are going to put highlights up in games, they're not going to put all the amazing runs Núñez did off the ball, because that's not a highlight. A highlight in a game for them is Núñez missing a ball, is missing a shot, or putting a ball over the crossbar from 8 yards. That's a highlight to a game to broadcasters. So that's what people see. And that's when they go online and say, oh, this and that, this and that, and this and that online. And he missed this, he missed that. But they didn't watch. When you ask her, oh, didn't you see them 4 amazing runs he made? What 4 amazing runs? Because they didn't watch a 90-minute match. They just watched a 5-minute highlight package. Yeah. And from that highlight package, they think they've worked him out. And that's the sad state of affairs we live in now, Andrew, unfortunately. It's just the way we live in. Everyone wants things in small chunks, small videos, small packages, highlight videos. Highlight videos do massive business because that's what everyone wants to absorb. As you say as well, Darwin Núñez yesterday made 3 or 4 tremendous runs off the shoulder in that number 9 position, and no one picked out the pass. There was a couple where Salah looked for him. Salah got the ball on the right-hand side, cut inside, looked for him twice because Darwin made 2 excellent runs straight away. Mo saw the runs, but couldn't deliver him the pass. Thiago, he made a run. As soon as he saw Thiago got the ball, Darwin Núñez made a beautiful run in between 2 centre-backs, through on goal, but Thiago couldn't find the pass. And the commentary of the match even brought that up, that he couldn't find it. So I just think that's the world we live in, Andrew, that no one watches 90-minute games no more. Don't know what you think about that, my friend, but Jamie, I think we'll wait to see how Neto gets on this season. Maybe look at him. Yeah, someone like a Neto, Cav, I believe is someone who could sit behind a Mo, and come in for a Mo. That's the sort of player I think we need. It's going to be very difficult. I don't know about you, Andrew. I think the Mo backup is the harder position to buy in our team. Because what do you reckon on that? Because you're going to have to buy a player that ain't going to play much.
Yeah, I think obviously, I know obviously we've been linked with Anthony and that, and I think it just depends really what happens, because for me, obviously I have seen a few Ajax games last season, and Anthony was actually brilliant, which he was most games. Some he was off his game a little bit, because obviously players do have their off games now and then. I think. I mean, it's I take like an Anthony, or I don't know, a Bowen or a Neto, obviously Bowen or Neto in the Premier thing. Those two are Prem proven. Obviously, Bowen was obviously linked with us before he moved to West Ham when he was at Hull, and he showed how good he was at Hull City, and then moved to West Ham, and his level's just gone up, literally like that. And he's just Bowen got I think he got 12, 13 goals last season, which is impressive from a Prem winger, like a right winger like that.
Yeah, Bowen was quality.
And I think he got was it 10 assists? How much? Was it 10?
Yeah, something like that. Bowen's quality. Everyone's been saying about Bowen. I think some people. I saw a Talk Sport clip on Twitter today talking about Bowen. I think it was Jason Cundy actually saying about why he's very. I'm shocked as well that there's been no one going for Bowen this summer. I'm actually shocked about that. That there's been no Bowen interest this summer from any Premier League.
I think he signed a new deal. I think a few weeks ago.
I would really test the water, because I think West Ham would sell him, and I think you just got to test the water. Look, I look at Chelsea and I think I'd have Bowen over Werner at Chelsea every day of the week. I think it gives you more. I am surprised no one's actually been looking at Bowen. Now, if Bowen has another great season this season, then
he's getting called up for the World Cup.
If he has a great season this season, Bowen's going to be hot property the next summer. I'm just surprised no one's looked at Bowen this summer. He's the man himself, looking fresh.
Woo! Come on, like that. Yeah. Luke Cage before Luke Cage. Luke Cage. What are you saying?
Yeah, we're
Andrew,
good, mate.
Phil,
We're good.
Right? Yeah.
What
was talking about? I missed out.
I was just saying about Bowen. I'm shocked no one's come in for Bowen this summer.
I put it in the chat a while ago, man. I said
quality player.
Anthony's not a bum in that, but if you're gonna spend that much money, I'll spend it on Bowen or Maddison. Easy.
Yeah, same.
I think with what you said about people not coming in for Bowen, is because before the transfer windows even opened, when they were talking about the price tags of the players, I think they slapped some mad price tag on him early, just to put people off. And to be fair to West Ham, they have probably been one of the most progressive teams in the last 3-4 seasons. Like, they've not gone backwards, really. Of course, they dropped in league position, but they got to Europa League final. So for them, it's like, is he he's probably the best player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Him and Antonio are the most important players for sure. They've just lost Noble, which he wasn't that good. But he's their captain, isn't it?
Didn't play anyway, but he's their
leader. I wouldn't be surprised if this season starts and Bowen's the captain.
Bowen or Rice be one of them, I would have thought.
Oh yeah, Rice. Sorry, my bad. Rice was the captain. He was captain last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Bowen's probably.
But that's probably the reason, because they're thinking eventually we're going to lose Rice. We can't lose Bowen as well. And for Bowen, I think he likes playing for West Ham. Living obviously in the city, and obviously, Danny Dyer is his father-in-law now, and he's a West Ham fan, so it's problems if Mick Carter comes after you for leaving the club, it's a problem. So
that is true. And how you doing, my man? How are you?
Oh, transfer window might as well not be open for us.
What is going on at Leicester? What is going on at Leicester?
So basically, FFP only applies to certain clubs, and we're not allowed to bring anyone in until a few players are gone.
You can mention Man City if you want.
I actually meant a lot across the park from you, but
Everton, definitely,
yeah. So we've got 28 first team players for 25 squad spots, and for you guys that wouldn't be a problem because you've got that income to be able to sort of pay back. Our income ain't on the level of Liverpool, so we can't pay wages for like 3 players that won't get a look in, especially without European football. If we had European football this year, it'd be a slight different story. But and then Brendan Rodgers coming out with comments every 2 weeks about, we're going to have a squad rebuild. We're going to completely reshape the squad. Are we now, Brendan, you absolute tool?
I mean, and I've heard today, I think Ndidi is injured as well, ain't he?
Oh, don't even start.
I mean, that's mad.
Ndidi's apparently injured.
He's a quality player as well.
Sorry, Anne. I didn't want to do that.
I kind of already regret joining now. I feel even worse.
But look, Leicester. I think Leicester finished the season really strong last year as well. I think they finished really strong as well.
With our starting 11, we can compete with most teams.
Take away starting 11, yeah.
Take away you guys and City. In terms of our starting 11, we can compete with pretty much every team in the Premier League. It's beyond that. We've got depth, but the quality in depth is just not there. It's like we've got these players, but it's like Hamza Chowdhury, who's on like 60 grand a week, and that's why we can't ship him on. Like,
that's a filthy guy, that is, man.
Mate, I love Hamza. I do love him. He's just one of those but he's not the best footballer in the world, but he plays with his heart on his sleeve, sort of thing. Yeah. It's like there's a reason he's been linked to Middlesbrough and West Brom. That's his level. But the fact we've paid 60 grand a week for a player like that, and they can afford 15 grand a week. Would you take a pay cut for that much? I definitely wouldn't. I'd my contract for 2 years.
Of course you wouldn't.
And it's like Vestergaard, 75 grand a week. For guys a walking lamppost. Got Bertrand at left back. He's like Bertrand, if we signed him about 5 years ago, he's a good player. His legs are gone now. He doesn't look arsed, and he's just gonna be another one that we've got for 2 years. So I'm not expecting much from Leicester, but the last time I was this pessimistic about a season, we went on to win the league. So ears open.
I mean, yeah.
Vestergaard was a shambles of a signing. It didn't make any sense to me. You had Solanke playing like a wet wipe as well, and then you went and signed another one.
It's only because Fofana got his ankle snapped against Villarreal. That was the only reason we signed him.
That was filth. That was filth by Villarreal as well. Leicester should be back with a bounce this year with no European football, and if they can sort out their injury problems. Yeah, as Ant said, their starting 11 is very good. I mean, I like Leicester. I like the way they play football.
Unfortunate teams.
Yeah, they just got really unfortunate last season, especially. Look, they had no defenders. They're playing Ndidi at the back. And then when you look, Leicester had the same problem in Liverpool. Once you take your best midfielders and start playing them as centre backs, you've got a problem in your whole team because you've got no spine, especially in midfield. So it becomes a lot harder to win football matches. So I know how Leicester fans feel from last season. And Ndidi, look, he's a tremendous footballer. I don't think people talk about him enough as a DM. When we're talking about your Rodriguez and Fabinho's in the league, people should mention indeed he's a quality defensive midfielder, and I like him. I think he's quality.
He's one of those because he don't do, like Rodri can do and Declan Rice can do those 50-yard spray passes. It's because Ndidi only does the basics, but he does the basics so well. Is why he never gets put on that sort of level.
Yeah. Well, Makaleli only did the basics, but no one did it better than him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, like, Ndidi's defensive numbers, and I know, like, admittedly, we have less of a ball than you guys and City, but his defensive numbers for about the last 4 years have been right up there with the very best. So as soon as we don't have Ndidi, we look such a worse team for it, because it allows us, like, having that shield in front of the back four, it allows us to play like 10 to 15 meters higher up the pitch and press higher up the pitch. And like the drop off from Ndidi to Mendy is like, it's absolutely huge. Mendy might as well not play. He's just like a shadow in midfield, but sort of like half follows back and tracks runs, doesn't really. But because he can pass the ball quite nicely, some of our fans like him. It's like, that's not a DM's job. A DM's job is to break up play.
Yeah. Read the game, break it up, and just.
And how many games did Ndidi play at centre back last season?
I'm not sure. I think he played about 6 or 7.
Yeah,
but then he only played like 20 games though, because he was injured for a lot of.
Yeah, he's injured for a lot of the season, wasn't he?
Yeah,
big miss.
Man, I remember mentioning him when we was talking about transfers early, and you get these fans that don't even watch the games and stuff, and they're just pretending. And it was like, nah, indeed, he's fell off his trash. And I mean, Jamie was like, playing that centre back, bro. What are you talking about?
He was playing centre back again alongside, and I know he's become a bit of a cult hero. He was playing alongside Daniel Amati, who's our 4th choice
against
right
us,
back.
And you're the only team that stopped us scoring last season.
It was horrible that match was.
I had a great evening that day. I'll be honest.
And did you go to the League Cup game the week before that?
Yeah, I go all games, right?
So I was at the League Cup game.
Oh, yeah.
And then me and my son, and then I was like, "Oh, we've got them next week, and watch what they do." And then I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "This is the scummiest game." Lookman comes off the bench. They didn't do anything attacking at all, and then Lookman comes off the bench, scores within like a minute. And I have to say, I did not know this before. I've been to Leicester Liverpool games before, but usually my seat's nowhere near the Leicester fans. Mate, I did not know these lot are so vocal and scummy, bro. they are possibly one of the loudest away fans I've ever heard, bro. I did not know. Everyone does this family club thing with Leicester, innit? Like the week. Nah. That's my son.
That's the media image of Leicester. Like if you go to like Leicester away games, you'll see a very different side of. Like,
yes,
Leicester.
completely different. It's completely
it's like
different.
This media perception of us like being some family club, and there is that side, particularly at the home games. The away games,
bro.
Leicester.
I've never seen anything apart from Man U fans. I've never seen anything like that, bro.
No,
stop.
Diamonds.
It's too much of a contrast. You go to the King Power and they've all got the clappers out, so it's like nice family party atmosphere. And then the away fans come in and want to take your head off.
Big up, Cav, by the way. Big up,
Cav.
Doing my man. Doing well.
The thing is, with our home fans as well, wherever your away end is at the King Power, you're right next to the family stand as well. So you probably get like the nicest part of the Leicester fan base as well there. And then obviously where I am is like right up the opposite. My season ticket's like right up the opposite side of the from the away fans. And I swear I don't see anyone using the clappers, and they're getting rid of them, I think, next year, which I think has been needed for a long time. They ran their purpose in the Championship and the Great Escape season, but they're just putting them in boxes in the concourse. So if the kids want to take them in the family stand, great. If not, but it's one of those. I hate the things because they just drown out any singing. It's really annoying.
Yeah, they're proper on it, Jay. I have to say, man. I'm being deadly serious. Like me and my son,
I like Leicester.
We're sitting probably like there's like the little separation bars at Anfield, and then there's like a couple of rows of like 2 or 3 seats, and then I was by the stairs and it right on the edge. And obviously that game is possibly the worst game to go to because we were losing like 3-0 at one point, and Vardy kept scoring. And when it was my son's first game at Anfield, he looked all like upset. He was wet and raining and stuff and cold, and I couldn't believe it.
The League Cup game? Yeah.
Mate, I promise there wasn't the fans that were at that side wasn't even looking at the game most of the time. They were staring at us, just abuse, bro.
Have you seen Lee Chappie's match reaction to that game? It's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it ended well in the end because the penalty shootout was where I was sitting in it, and the Leicester fans were behind the goal. So in the end, I was like, that where everyone was shouting, it was empty in the end. But the first half, yeah, it's possibly the worst game I've ever gone to with fans like that, man. I actually couldn't deal with it at one point. I ignored them.
Do you reckon part of that is? Yeah. You reckon part of that attitude is because you spent a bit of time in League One and then come back up through the ranks? Do you think?
Oh, 100%. Like we're a championship fan base who's had the best sort of fucking like 10 years going. Like when you look at Liverpool, you've got this like global fan base, and like most of your you've got the core fans from Liverpool, but you've got those global fans who come in sort of like from everywhere. For us, we've got that to an extent, but I'd say 70% of our fans are from Leicestershire or surrounding areas. Like so, for us, I think it's the same sort of core people go to most of the away games, which is why. That's why I say, like, you know, like Palace have a really good away following. Those kind of clubs, I'd say that's sort of like our away atmosphere is more like a championship away atmosphere, and I wouldn't change that for anything. I think it's
you gotta love it, man. Blues are the same. Blues are obviously I'm from Birmingham, but Birmingham City away is exactly the same. Loudest fans, bro. It's mad.
Well, we know what Birmingham are very famous for their back in the 80s.
Zulu.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go Kev, go for it, mate.
Just one of the reasons I wanted to come on. I know it's been spoken about before, but I'd like to get Ant's point of view from a team like Leicester. Is obviously 5 subs next season, and as Liverpool fans, we've looked at it in terms of squad depth, quality, rotation. You know, we like to get ahead in the game, and if so, 60th minute, bring off our top players if need be, and what have you. But for a team like Leicester, who haven't actually signed anyone, I don't think, this summer, have they? What position does that put them in for the course of the season? Because, you know, if you've not got a strong squad, what opportunities do you have to turn a game in either way?
I don't know. It feels like, and you're going to probably say that I sound really bitter here and stuff, but I feel like there's been more and more changes over recent years to be sort of protecting the bigger clubs, because that gap between the bigger clubs and the clubs like West Ham, Leicester has been getting closed more and more. And financially, like, people don't like to hear it, but having clubs like Liverpool, United, Arsenal, those big clubs, it's more beneficial to have those towards the top of the table. So, like, as much as like the player welfare card, there is an element to that, but I think that's neither here nor there, because I don't think it will make a huge amount of difference in that sense. I just feel like it's one that's going to protect the bigger teams and make that gap even bigger. But at the same time, I'm trying to be positive about it. It's going to give players like Shane Flynn, Dewsbury Hall, some of the our promising youngsters coming through.
What player he is, man, Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm trying to look at it from a positive point of it will give these players opportunities to thrive. Yeah. So, but when you look at like what Man City are doing, like even more so now than they've ever done before, in terms of buying like players like Cucurella, like one of the best players at Brighton, buying like the best players from all these other non-top 6 clubs, it's going to weaken those teams even more than before, while strengthening the bigger 6. Well, the big 5 and Tottenham.
He went there. Talking about Tottenham for 1 second before we go on. Is this the ugliest away kit in the league?
Oh, I like it.
Jeremy, I like it.
I'll tell you what I don't like about it, what Nike are famous for. Lazy designing, man. That is literally our kit with a different colour.
It is
our training kit.
I don't like that. I think that's a yuck. I don't like that yellow bit by the net. What is that about?
Because that yellow bit on their kit is red on ours, but the rest of the kit's exactly the same. Lazy, man. Did that with Chelsea last season.
And
it is lazy.
And that's Haaland. Haaland. That is Haaland to a T, ain't it? I'm not lying. That is Haaland, ain't it? He's going to be an arsehole.
Cav, do you think the question you asked just is to do with possibly like the future with like the Super League and stuff like that? Because it ain't gone away. Everyone thinks it's gone. It's coming at some point. And it will benefit us big clubs then.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't gone away, and it will come back under a different name, you know, in a different proposal with different colouring and what have you. When it will happen, we don't know, but it's something that everybody think has gone away. I don't necessarily think it has. It's just interesting because, like I say, the season changes from year to year, but I think the 5 subs is quite big because every conversation I've seen on it is from a big a big club's perspective, and we're thinking about rotation or what have you. And then the flip coin has been the sides that are lower down the division, where the argument is they can bring on more defenders and shut up shop if they do get ahead and what have you. But I just was interested from Ant's point of view, a team like Leicester that fall kind of between them two arguments, where they believe it will affect them over the course of the season. They have quality. I believe for a team like Leicester that, you know, were invested in, could still challenge for them Conference League, Europa League kind of spots. But, you know, if teams are strengthening or have game plans sort of ironed out because of the 5-sub rule, they might just fall victim to a team that doesn't sustain success that they've perhaps
Leicester could be in danger of the Newcastle next season. That's the team I think Leicester might be looking at. Because I see Leicester as a top 8 football club. I think to look at Leicester's squad, I think they're a top 8 football club in the Premier League, and I think they finished 8th last season. So for me, they finished where maybe they should finish. I think the top 4 positions they were finishing in and trying to go for the previous seasons, I think they were overachieving just a little bit. So I don't think they're far off where they're meant to be.
Where did they finish last season, did you say, Joe?
I think they finished 8th in the end.
We finished 8th, 1 point off.
No way did you finish 8th. Really? I knew you had a good end to the season, but flipping heck.
Yeah. The thing is, we finished 1 point off 7th, and it's like, the frustrating thing is we probably had one of the worst injury crises in like recent years.
Yeah.
It's like, what could have been? But it's at the same time, you say that, like, when you concede 22 goals from corners in one Premier League campaign, you've got no right to be expecting to be finishing in European places.
Rogers was like that with us, though. We always conceded from set pieces. He's got this thing in his game where he just ignores it for some reason.
He just wants you to be a beautiful human being, bro.
He just ignores the set piece.
The only team in the Premier League who doesn't have a set piece coach.
Yeah, there you have it, man.
Yeah, we have a throwing coach. You know what I mean?
Genuinely, I think we've got a throwing coach. We've got like that. We don't have a fucking set piece coach. Just like
right. Let me just get Devon's and Arsenal fans coming in and say 1 league title in 30 years. I love the fact that all rival clubs banter us with this, but don't then put on the nine after the 1. You know, in our lifetime, or you know, the 6 European Cups, and
also 18 years at the moment.
And I swear Arsenal are touching 20 years, and I don't see them winning another one for 10. So Arsenal.
This was the last title race Arsenal were involved in.
Yeah, exactly, and they bottled it to Leicester. Exactly. So I don't mind Arsenal fans coming on here and having a say. It's all banter. I don't mind it. But if the only team that can talk to us at the moment is probably Man City. So when Arsenal fans come in here and say this sort of thing, it makes me laugh.
Oh, I won't be talking nonsense with
no fans.
Anyway, I'll tell you that much.
So we lifted the Prem with no fans. So that means it don't exist. So I don't get it. There was no fans there. There was a pandemic going on, and people were dying all over the place. So if that's your take on it, man, I mean, it's not like we got banned and there was no fans.
If your rivals are talking about you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right, man. You can always tell how hurt they are by the banter they use. It's not even.
Exactly.
Dead.
I mean, it makes me laugh.
Like man, you trying to banter the a pre-season game. I'm like, mate, how the mighty have fallen, bro. Back in the day, I never even heard a Man U fan mention pre-season. They just told us we're in Malaysia, and that was it. We didn't know anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's all right, man.
By the way, the attendance of our game yesterday got extremely close to the record that Man United and Inter Milan set.
Inter Milan, yeah.
And we played Palace.
Do you see the Palace fans in that, by the way? Like, the like travelling 1,500 Palace fans from Croydon, an absolute mad bunch.
Palace fans are nuts. Don't get on the wrong side.
I like the atmosphere at Selhurst Park, although I do have the last game I went to at Selhurst Park was bad memories, bro. I'm never going back. But
no. Last time I went to Selhurst Park, I got splinters in my arse with their wooden seats.
Last time I went there, Suarez left the pitch crying, and Dwight Gale turned into R9 for 10 minutes. Bro.
I don't live too far either. So it's quite an easy stadium for me to get to.
Do you guys still get PTSD when we've got an away trip at Palace?
I don't like playing. Palace is the one the Palace and Leicester, and are probably the 2 games I don't like playing away at the most. They're always difficult games. They're always difficult games. And Palace away, just don't play Palace on a night game. You go and play Palace. Make sure
Forget it.
Yeah, make sure it's in the middle of the afternoon or something like that. If it's an evening game, especially a Monday night game under the lights. I mean, Arsenal go get battered in the first game of the season against Palace. I mean, a Friday night under the lights at Selhurst Park. Yeah, good luck. I'm not having that on the first game of the season. No way.
They started off with was it Brentford? They kicked things off last season as well. So
Who, Arsenal?
Arsenal, yeah. Was that
they lost 3-0 on a Friday.
Yeah, so
hang on.
Same kind of boat, aren't they?
Have you ever seen Terry? Have you ever seen Tony Adams win Champions League? Right, let's carry on.
Gerrard lives the Champions League, but all right.
I mean, we could play this title with a trophy for trophy thing. Liverpool are the most successful team in English football history.
It's really pointless trying to go.
It's like so Gerrard didn't win the Premier League trophy. He won every trophy there is to win in football, apart from the Premier League. I mean, it's just not.
Also, that's Gerrard's problem, not mine. I'm the Liverpool fan. I've watched us win every trophy, so this is what it is.
I don't get it. Go to Stevie's video and ask Stevie how he feels about that. He probably don't give a shit now. But one thing I wanted to ask, Ant. So Tielemans, what's happening with Tielemans? Because 1 minute he's going, next minute I've heard he signed a new contract, and then what's going on over there with Tielemans?
Oh, I wish he would make his mind up. Honestly, I feel like he's feels a little bit underwhelmed because all the talk of the time was like, oh, he's going to go to the Champions League club. Yeah. The only club that's seriously come in for him is Arsenal, so can't help feeling that he feels a bit underwhelmed with that. But it's like when your performances drop as much as his did last year. Admittedly, part of it weren't his fault. When you've got like no settled team around you and you're playing as a 6 when you're an 8, you're always going to struggle. But I don't know. It's frustrating because like if he stays, he has said if he's still here beyond this window, he will sign a new contract so he doesn't walk away for free, and that he wants the club to get some value for him. But it's like when you come out with statements like that, it clearly shows that your head's not at Leicester and you're already looking at that value. I just want us to get rid of him. Bring in, I don't know if you've got lads have heard of him, Koku, the young midfielder from Feyenoord, player who really wants to come to Leicester. He's actively sort of, like it sounds like everyone's talking about, but like on Instagram, like he's all following all the Leicester players now. He's liking all the Leicester posts about our tour.
That's what you want in your team, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like I'll just like. What I don't want is Tielemans to be here till like just before September, then leave like a week, like 3-4 days
but
to go.
But the thing is, you can see that happening.
I can, but at the same time, I can see us setting a deadline because
it's either today or it's never sort of thing.
Yeah. So
I mean, with Tielemans as well, like a lot of people, like I know a lot of Liverpool fans talk about Tielemans and say he hasn't got the work ethic or the fitness. Now, I hear that quite a lot about Tielemans. A lot of people, this is when people bring up Tielemans, they say, his gas tank's not great, he's not fit. I've never actually seen any proof of it myself.
Well,
so I'll ask you, Ant, as a Leicester fan.
His running numbers are right up there in terms of the top class squad.
That's what I thought, yeah.
The thing is, this whole thing of him being lazy and stuff comes from one clip on Twitter of him chasing back.
Yeah,
I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, from Deck. It was against West Ham when we were 2-0 down. Yeah. We were pushing to get back into the game late on, and West Ham break down the other end, and he's absolutely gassed, which is something like in the 88th minute. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then this whole narrative's come out over for the last year or so since that clip happened. Oh, he's lazy, you don't work hard, and it's like it's so easy to make a narrative off a player from one clip sort of thing, but he's not the most mobile in the world, and obviously, but the fact to say that he's not that he doesn't work hard, doesn't put a defensive shift in.
Me and Jamie said this was a myth a few months ago when we were talking about the transfer window. I proved it, man. I went through the stats.
Yeah. It's the way he looks. Yeah. I think because he's got the big cheeks and stuff like that.
He got the hamster cheeks.
He doesn't look like
he looks like he's blowing after 10 minutes, even though he's not, and he runs like a fat girl. But
it's because he doesn't. It's because he doesn't look like an athlete. People suggest he's not an athlete. It's like But I said this earlier when I started the show. I said that I don't know about how you guys feel about this because Darwin Núñez is coming in for a lot of shit online at the moment, and I've said if people watch, I don't think people watch 90-minute games of football anymore. I think people just watch highlight packages. I think the way we live our lives now, we want everything in small doses, don't we? We don't want to sit there and watch something that takes 2 hours. If we can watch it in 10 minutes, we'll watch it all in 10 minutes. And I think everyone watches football in highlight packages now. And when you watch highlight packages, people are only going to put things on there that's a highlight. So like Darwin misses a shot and puts it over the bar from 8 yards. That's a highlight. They put it on a highlight package. But what they didn't do, what he did yesterday, was make 3 or 4 tremendous runs off the shoulder that no one found him with a good enough pass with. I mean, they even brought it up in commentary. And I brought this up yesterday as well, especially on Kopish. And
when Thiago didn't make his pass.
Yeah, and they brought it up on commentary, and they went. And then there's a couple of times when Salah was looking for him, but the pass weren't good enough. He made good runs off the ball. So, but in highlight packages, that sort of thing don't make the thing. It's just, it's the way the world is. Like it's the same with a lot of footballers. They look at these packages. 5 minutes of them are like, right, Tielemans ain't good enough. I've seen that 5-minute package now. I know everything about him. That's the way.
You know what we were saying before about Ndidi? Why I don't think Ndidi gets the praise he deserves, because people watch for highlights of Leicester. They don't watch Leicester, so you're hardly going to put like tackles and interceptions into some highlight package. But when you actually watch him week in, week out, and I think there's a fair few players you could put Fabinho into this list, Rodri, like players that do that defensive, like ugly side of the game, but don't get the credit that they deserve because it never makes the highlights. And it's like, this is why I was so keen, because we've been linked to Levi Colwell, who was at Huddersfield. This is why I was so keen to actually get a Huddersfield fan on who watched him week in, week out, instead of some Chelsea fans who just watch highlights of him. Because if they're going to tell you that they watched Huddersfield every week, they're lying through their teeth.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I wanted to get talk to some Huddersfield fans and actually get to know what Colwell was actually about from people who've watched him, not just looking at the highlights. Because I could make Jose Perez look like the Spanish Messi through highlights.
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, from highlights, you can put out whichever message you want to put out.
Yeah, Ant's right, man. You know, what's that geezer that everyone's talking about for us, the Portuguese done? Or he plays in the Portuguese league. Play for the same team as
the other Nunes fellow who's been linked.
Okay, our whole fan base.
Matthias Nunes. No one's seen him play.
Bro, when he was first linked, I seen everyone in the chat saying, "Who is he?" And now all of a sudden, we need to get him in. What are you talking about? What are you talking? No one's watching that guy. I only pay attention to some of these names, honestly, because I gamble, bro. I'm not joking, bro. When I'm bored, the gambling gets mad sometimes, and you start betting on leagues you don't care about, bro. That's how I start checking on these players and that, bro, in the Austrian and Canadian league and stuff. But apart from that, people have to stop, man. It's not a good narrative, and the whole like Darwin thing. It's quite pathetic, to be fair. And I don't need to stick up for him and go over the top about how he's played. Even if he had scored a hat trick, I wouldn't have cared. I was like, oh, he looks decent, this is good. But the whole thing with him being rubbish and all this business, and it's very silly to be talking this early. It's very silly.
And if you look at...
Hang on a minute, guys. Hang on a minute. It's Devon Geezer. Look, I'm not going to put any more mess. I don't mind banter, but you're getting a bit rude. So banter's fine. Take the rudeness out of it and you'll be fine. So I'll put you on a
I'll find your IP address, bro. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll put you... you got a 5-minute timeout. So when you come back, just banter. We don't mind it as fans on this channel. People don't mind it in the chat, but it's when you start being rude and swearing. You don't need to do that. Carry on, guys.
Yeah. Come on, it's a nice sunny day, guys. It's go outside if you need some heat. Don't bring it in here.
Exactly.
I was just going back to Darwin quickly and highlights and what have you. I did what I think everybody else did when we were linked. You go straight to YouTube and you watch his highlight reels. And if you actually watch his highlights, a lot of his goals, although there's some brilliant efforts in there, a lot of them were tap-ins. A lot of them were just making the right movement, being in the right place at the right time. And for a pre-season, that's what I was going in looking for from him. Because if he scores goals and it builds his confidence, great. But you need to see everything else in his game. You need to see his fitness. You need to see his movement. Does he come to feet? Does he go in behind? Can he link up with the players around him? And for me, in the short space of time, for all the criticism that he's getting, I think the movement's been good. I've seen a bit of that. And like you've just touched upon, there's been chances where people should have, played the ball through and it's been overhit slightly or what have you. If one or two of them are better passes, they connect and he finishes it. The whole dynamic of this conversation is different. So I think like we've all said, it's way too soon to judge him. And can he even be a full flop in this team? Because any forward in this Liverpool side with the guys on the flanks, they're going to score, Exactly. And if he plays, if he plays 30 plus games this season and he gets 10 plus goals, there'll be some people that say he was a flop, and there'll be some people that say, no, that's a good first season. So it's going to be really hard to call, you know. But what you can say about the lad is he's an absolute physical specimen. He's tall, he's strong, he's fast. You know, he's got a good goal scoring record. I don't see what the issue is at this stage with him. No, just let him be.
And he's got bad blisters. I saw a picture of it actually online the other day. His whole back of his foot is completely covered in blisters, and he's got a bunion as well that he needs to sort of taken care of. So you try and put boots on and playing with that. That's nasty. But
I like the fact how the most positive thing I've seen apart from the runs is how Salah's playing with him. Salah seems to be looking for him at every moment.
But Salah's already spoken.
But Salah's selfish. But guys, Salah's selfish.
Yeah.
Salah's not a team player. What are you saying?
You said, Cab, that Salah spoke about him already.
Yeah, I think a couple of weeks back he sort of touched on not too much so, but he spoke about how excited he is to link up with him, and you know how he's coming into the squad and stuff. Because obviously we played Benfica last season, they've seen what he's about, and for the likes of Salah, he needs, well, not necessarily needs, but he wants to keep reinventing his game, adding different things. And when he played at, I think it was Roma, he had Dzeko, didn't he? So he's had that big target man to play off, and he did well there. So maybe, you know, for the likes of Salah now, they're quite excited about this player that's coming in that is slightly different and can maybe provide Salah with a different phase of play in the game. You know, I've at times not been critical, but I've watched Salah play and seen him cut in on his left foot and try and curl it, and sometimes you kind of think, okay, Salah, take it on your right, just once, or just to give the defender something else to think about, you know, to mix up your game. And I think someone like Darwin just gives him an opportunity maybe to play off, to take a run out wide, to open up space. I don't know, just different players can often blend together. So I think Salah's possibly quite excited about playing with Darwin.
I think so. You could see that with Darwin with the knockdown yesterday. He tried like a knockdown with a header. I was like, yeah, I can see what he's doing here, man. Like, I don't think anyone needs to worry at all. I think it's quite weird that people are judging him so quick. I don't know what's going on, but I think he'll be absolutely fine, and I don't think it'll take him long. And then confidence will build in it. Yeah, you forget how young he is until you see his face, and he's got a real young face. Man.
The man's 23 years old. You know what I mean? It's just look. If everyone remembers Fernando Torres' pre-season, it was diabolical. Fernando Torres' pre-season with Liverpool was absolutely awful. Then he on this first game of the season, you know, it's just about. I think Robbo spoke about it. He ain't really had a conversation with him yet either. You know, they just all met each other. They're getting used to each other. And there's another thing as well. Liverpool are learning how to play with a number 9. We don't play with a number 9. We play false nines or a number 10 that drops in or anything like that. So, you know, we're learning how to play with him as he's learning to play with us. So
I actually hope that for his own sake, not for me, because I'm like quite level-headed with it. You know what I mean? He needs time and stuff. But I think hope for his own sake that he just gets an early goal, just because if people are moaning this much already in pre-season when nothing's happened, I'm like, you think it's going to get better straight away in Liverpool? He's got to find a house properly.
Yeah.
Move his missus in, whoever. Learn how to speak English properly. Get his fitness levels up. Lose the blisters. And then learn how to play with the players he's with. So they need to give him a chance, man.
So, I remember when Drogba came to Chelsea, his first season weren't great.
No, it wasn't.
His first season weren't great. Then he got used to it, and he became unbelievable. One of the best strikers ever in the Premier League. So, you know, it'd be the same with Núñez. Look, rivals are going to do whatever they can because they hate the fact that Liverpool are on top. So they're going to try and find any kind of weakness there. I mean, if Núñez scores 25 goals next season, all they'll come back and say, "Well, of course he's going to score. He plays for Liverpool with all chances great." So you can't. You never go win. I mean, you never go. Oh, it's annoying, but. What makes me laugh is it's mostly Arsenal fans saying it, which I don't get. I don't.
Because Jesus scored in.
It's because they got Jesus. He scored a couple of goals against Nuremberg. Big wow. You know, it's like, and all of a sudden, you know, he's going to score 25 goals next season. So, no.
Well, we've got Trent on steroids now because obviously he's got bigger somehow.
Yeah, Trent grew in the summer, didn't he?
Listen, all I'm saying is.
He was taller as well. How does that work?
All I'm saying is. I'm a personal trainer and I don't understand how it happened. But I'm just saying, bro. Because he come back big and all of a sudden he's faster as well. Yeah, there's something going on, bro. But I don't mind, bro.
Did anyone actually notice yesterday as well that Tyler Morton looks quite tall all of a sudden as well?
Yeah, bro. That's the inhalers, bro.
When I saw Tyler Morton last season, he was really short and like weak. Now he's quite tall and looks quite strong. Where I don't know what we're doing, but keep it up.
Inhalers, bro.
Well, Klopp said he needs to be beefing up, and he's clearly listened, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's clearly listening, but he's grown. He's shot up as well. It's what I'm saying. But I think people forget we're men. I think
how old is Morton?
He's like 18.
18. Yeah, see, I'll give Morton the benefit of the doubt in it because obviously you have growth spurts in it. I used to have one of that school, like you go on your 6 weeks holiday, and when you'd come back, there'd be someone in the class who came back 6 foot or something.
Yeah, my best mate Grant's like that.
But with Trent, I don't get it because we've seen I've seen WhatsApp videos, not WhatsApp videos, Instagram videos, and with Trent on the beach and all that. So it's not like he's been hidden away in the chamber. I'm saying that, like, he's just taken something. And it's got big, bro. Whatever Goretzka's had, Trent's had, bro.
Do you know a lot?
Part of the man idea, Bayern's gave us the regimes.
Bayern.
Didn't you watch Mane's first day at Bayern? I just watched it because it was on YouTube. Yeah, and because I thought it was a fake clip at first, isn't it? When he's in the car park. And then Kimmich comes out and he shakes his hand in that. Because the last time they saw each other, Kimmich was shouting in his face, on it when we beat them in the Champions League. Yeah, and then Gnabry comes out. Bro, why does he look like a GTA character? He's got like he's got like the weirdest 80s moustache and that, bro. And I'm like, what's going
on? Curtis beefed up a little bit as well. I'm going to talk about Curtis for a minute, guys, because
that's my guy, man.
Curtis again came in for a lot of flack yesterday, and I personally didn't understand it. Did he have the greatest game in the world? No. Did he do bits that were quite impressive? Yeah. And what Curtis does do a lot, he does a lot of movement off the ball. And no one, because for some reason we don't look at off the ball movement, we only have a look what you do with the ball. His movement off the ball was really good. And what it does as well, it helps space for... See how much space Henderson had in that game yesterday?
Yeah.
Because Curtis was making lovely runs off him, onto that left-hand side, making a lot of movement for Hendo. He was always available. One thing I will say about Curtis Jones, he's always wanting the pass. He's always asking for the ball. He never goes hiding. So I always give Curtis that. And I've said it about Curtis many times in the show. Curtis has a lot of ability. I just think he's a bit confused what to do on the pitch, because he knows he has to do his defensive duties as well. So he's worried about giving away the ball and wants to keep the ball a little bit too long and give it just nice and simple and not really show what he's capable of, because he's a bit worried what to do. And the more he plays, this is the thing with Curtis. That's why with Curtis, it's more about game time for him. Curtis played 10 games in a row in the Premier League. I think you see a better Curtis Jones, because he get used to his position, used to knowing what the team wants, what he wants his role to do in the midfield. And once he gets used to his role in the midfield, he'll get it down and keep doing that week after week. And you'll see a tremendous player. Unfortunately for Curtis, our midfield in Klopp's eyes is pretty stacked. In our eyes, it needs some work. But in Klopp's eyes, he sees players that play in a certain position, and Curtis ain't going to play many games. Now, this is where everyone say Curtis needs a loan. I'm not sure loaning Curtis would do anything to his game, really, than training with the best players in the world at Liverpool Football Club. Now, if he went on loan,
competitions for him to go on loan, man.
If he went at loan at Villa, played every week, which I don't know if he actually would, because John McGinn, Ramsey, the new guy from Marseille, is it Kamara? I don't actually know if he would actually play every week at Aston Villa either. So, for me, it'd be best for Curtis to play at Liverpool, play the cup games, play bits. He's going to play Premier League games because there's 5 subs. He's going to be in the squad. So, I think you keep Curtis. I think the Curtis abuse is just getting on my nerves a little bit. Leave Curtis be. But he was good yesterday.
It's a bit of, even the minute thing's a bit of a like... listen, I'm just to say this, innit, because I've had enough of this business, bro. First of all, with the minutes thing...
Big up Aaron, sorry.
Context is everything, innit? You can go back and look at stats and loads of different things, but let's come on, man. We're all Liverpool fans. It's the one team that we pay all attention to.
Yep.
And if you break down his career so far, you got the opening, you got the debut season, whatever. He got a COVID season where he plays most of the games because everyone gets injured, and he was fine until everyone decided to turn on him because he gave a throw-in away against West Brom. I remember it like he gave a throw-in away, then they scored from the throw-in. All of a sudden, it's Curtis's fault. All right. So then there's that season. The started, and then he was ahead of like a lot of the midfielders at the time. And then last season, there's this. I can't deal with lazy narratives from people, man. It's like I can literally see where people are, what channels they're watching or what Twitters they're watching, because they start saying the same stupid things, and it becomes a narrative. And then when a game's on, when he doesn't do that, they still mention it. Like this hanging onto the ball. Oh, Curtis holds onto the ball for too long. Fine. If that's one of his flaws, it's one of his flaws.
I don't think he
did
games when by the way.
He didn't do it yesterday, but all of a sudden, that's the first thing everyone says. Oh, he doesn't do it. He needs a loan. Just because everyone else has said he needs a loan in the first place. I'm just like, it's getting very silly. There's nothing wrong with thinking Curtis isn't good enough to play for Liverpool. That's fine, isn't it? Listen, we're quite high standard of a football club. Most people don't feel like certain people should be playing for a club. If a lot of people had it their own way, they wouldn't want Hendo playing for the club. They wouldn't want Milner playing for the club. They wouldn't want Curtis, Naby, none of them. They wouldn't want any of them. So, but with the Curtis thing, I'm like, leave him alone. If his own fan base is slandering him, when you guys think that Curtis at his age don't see it, and it doesn't bother him, it definitely does. Nico saw it, and he wanted out. And it's silly, man, because for England, Curtis is fine. So like, there's no problem. He's one of the best players there. He was fine before he came into the first team. He was fine when he came into the first team. And as soon as everyone started giving him the slack, he wasn't. You know what I mean? So it's
every player, every team's got a player you bash, and for some reason we're picking on Curtis.
And you know
none
that
of us
hold
here
on to the
are.
thing.
I don't get it.
You know short passes where like to somebody who doesn't play. Actually, I don't want to be offensive to anyone because whatever if you don't play football, but there's that pass. It's like a needless pass in it. So say you're like Hendo and you've got Thiago right next to you. You actually don't need to pass the ball in it. But you give him the little tiki-taka thing, give people a feel of the ball. I think Curtis just, a lot of the time, he just doesn't do that. No. Like, he's like, what am I giving you the ball for? I'll just hold on to it and then I'll give it to somebody else. And then all of a sudden now.
That's Curtis's games, though. Curtis looks for the more dangerous pass. That's what he wants to do. He wants to put himself. Curtis Jones is more about he wants to get to the other end of the pitch as quickly as possible, deliver a cross, or if he can see a through ball, he'll try and through. That's his game. But
Grealish does the exact same thing, but I'm not even joking.
And because at the moment, I think Curtis is a bit like, but I don't want to give away the ball because I'm going to get slander.
Yep.
He doesn't quite do that at the moment, and people are slandering him for it. So Curtis can't win. He's a young boy learning his game. We just need to get off his back and let him develop. He will develop.
I think we should all just be fine with him being a good player.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Wrong with that.
Exactly.
You know, I know he had an issue last season. He was out for some games with his eye injury and what have you. But on the whole, he's a fit lad. He runs up and down the pitch, and don't underestimate how hard it is to work in a Liverpool midfield under Jurgen Klopp.
Especially working off the ball. Exactly.
Yeah. He's two-footed. He has the ability to take the ball around a player and drive, you know. I think a large part of people's frustration with Curtis is, yes, they want to see development year on year, and maybe he stagnated a little bit. But people want to put players into boxes, you know. So when we look at, and we've got a vast array of English talent at the minute, you know, you look at Trent and you look at Foden and Mount and stuff, and you can instantly say, yeah, he's good at this, he's good at this. I think with Curtis, he's not particularly exceptional at anything at the minute. He's just a good all-round player.
Yeah, it's like 7 out of 10 at everything, isn't it?
It's not like
10 out of 10 at anything. Yeah.
Curtis is a Premier League footballer. He would play in Premier League teams. He's just a good footballer, as you say. That he's not the master of anything yet. I think the problem is we all look back at Stevie. Yeah, I think that's the problem. He came through our youth system. He's a midfielder, came through, but I don't like the word generational, but Stevie literally was. You know,
Stevie definitely was.
Stevie literally was. He was just one of. He's like, people argue he's our greatest ever player, him or Kenny. I mean, he was that good. So we can't keep linking people like Curtis to Stevie because it ain't going to be like that. You know, and I think the Foden factor at Man City is another factor as well. He's a youth player, midfielder, come through at City. People look at him. Foden's their version, you know, of Stevie, you could say. He's a tremendous footballer. Curtis isn't as good as that, no problem. It don't bother me if he's not as good as that. He's just a good player for our team who does a good job. And I think people go too over the top with it. Now, and I want to just highlight a few players I thought were good yesterday and stood out for me. One of them was Naby Keita. Now,
he was great yesterday.
I saw some channels yesterday and said Naby was shocking, and I don't get it. I thought Naby looked good yesterday. You know, Naby's lost his hair, so he looks better for it. But you know, he looked good yesterday. He looked stronger as well. I don't know what you guys thought. He looks a bit fitter.
Looks strong.
He looks stronger. You know, he looks a bit stockier. I thought he brought the ball down well yesterday. I thought his turns were good. Naby did yesterday what we always want to see Naby do: take players on. He's very good at it. Yeah. He's very good with driving with the ball. I don't think there's actually a Liverpool fan who doesn't believe Naby Keita is a very good footballer. It's just the other problem with Naby with his injuries. Now, last season, Naby weren't that injured as people think. Klopp weren't just picking him.
He wasn't
Klopp
injured.
Just weren't picking him. He wasn't that injured last season. Now, if Naby can stay like that this season and produce that talent we all know Naby's got in abundance, we've got a very good footballer there. Yeah. Another one I thought stood out was Harvey yesterday. Like Harvey Elliott.
He stood out in both games, man. This guy's
Harvey Elliott's just different.
Harvey's my guy.
He's just different.
He's good, man.
I'm finding myself watching these games now and looking for Harvey. And you know, you just focus on one player. I just look at Harvey now. I'm waiting for him to get the ball. To do something.
My biggest positive on Harvey, when I thought about Harvey, is that he looks like he belongs in that midfield. He just looks like he belongs in that midfield. And I've said it for a while now. Don't be surprised if he does start the season against Fulham and maybe Bendo don't.
I think he will.
And they goes with Harvey, Thiago, and Fabinho, because he's got to say Harvey. What I like about Harvey, about Harvey is brave. He doesn't care if that shot he had yesterday. He missed it. His build-up play with it was fantastic. Then he got on the end of the pass, and the shot was terrible. But it happens. You know, you
do have to have that kind of thing about you, where like, especially if you're younger, and every young player doesn't have it. It's why people don't make it through the academy. When you get something wrong on the pitch, you have to not overthink it. And it's like it's done now. I missed, and when the ball comes to me again, I will do it again because I think I can score. Whereas a lot of people, it's like, I can't do it again now because if Klopp's looking at me and I do it again, and it's not their fault. It's a natural thing as a human to feel like that. And like you said yesterday about Naby playing good, I thought the exact same. And even with him playing that good, I could still tell he could go up a level because there was still the hesitation before every run. If you ever watches Naby, and if you didn't know, watch it now. There's a hesitation first. And he looks around and he's like, okay then. Yeah. And the only other person who does that and it works, and he's a centre back, is Matip, and Matip pauses and he's like, "Oh, no one's gonna. All right, I'll just run through all of you then." But Naby played great. I think what Cav said right. Harvey, for me, like,
he's a standout.
He's great. He's just great. He's really good at everything. Every time he gets the ball, and he's facing our goal, he knows he's gonna turn and start running at you straight away. Yeah. And then he has got a little burst of pace, and what he's underrated for. Like people think he's slow. He's got good acceleration. He's not rapid, but his acceleration's really good. He's strong. He doesn't care, and then you give him interviews after. He'll just speak to you like it's no problem anyway. And I thought as well, Carvalho, he hasn't done anything outstanding yet,
but you can tell
he really looks like he belongs in our midfield.
You can tell straight away, can't you? You can tell.
He plays like he's been playing for ages.
I mean, that shot he had yesterday showed confidence as well. He hit the post the game before. But there's something about him. Is like what I like about him is that they, you can get players that they're hiding all the time. But but people like Carvalho and Elliott are wanting the ball constantly. Yeah. They're never hiding. They want the ball. They want to show what they got. And I think that's with Harvey at the moment. Like you said, that shot he missed, he'll go back and try it again. Like if he had that cross 2 minutes later, he would have tried it again. If he missed, he would have tried it again. With Curtis, I think that's the difference between him and Curtis at this moment in time. Curtis is just a little bit more worried if he does miss that because he knows it's going to come back on him. With Harvey at the moment, he has more of that freedom and can just. But Harvey, I think Curtis is a very good footballer. But I've said it for a while now. I just think with Harvey, he's got a higher ceiling. I just see, I see a bit more in Harvey, and that's not saying Curtis is shit, by the way. Curtis is still a very good footballer. I just think Harvey's got a higher ceiling, can be an exceptional player. And Klopp thinks the same. Klopp thinks the same as well.
Sorry, Jay. I was just going to say, I think we can see with Harvey what type of player he can be.
Yeah.
You know, in his patterns in play, you know, he's obviously a left-footed player and he's got that ability to receive the ball and sort of go around a player that's near him on his first touch, which opens up space. You know, we've seen him play through balls, like you say, that 5-10 yard of pace he's got. He's not gonna canter down the pitch, but he is gonna go by somebody and pick out the pass. I think the positions he picks up, he's comfortable coming deep and looking to pick his head up and find somebody, which says a lot for a young player. And also it says a lot for the players around him, which is usually the centre-backs or Fabinho or Thiago, that they give him the ball in them positions. You know, they give him the balls, you know, on the halfway line and allow him to pick his head up. So they see the ability in him. 100%. But just going back to, you can see what type of player he will become, you know, as long as his development continues.
Exactly.
And we've only had a small sample size, but the start of last season, that link up, that triangle between him, Trent, and Mo was so effective. You know, defenders just didn't know where to go. You know, midfielders didn't know who to pick up because you've got three players on that right hand side that were interchanging, picking up different positions, playing different passes, making different runs, and you just don't know what to do. And that was really exciting to see. Obviously, it was a shame that he got his injury.
Yeah,
but that was super exciting. And I actually, from the small cameo that Carvalho had as well, I kind of seen a similar thing on that left hand side when he was picking the ball up and trying to. He played it through to Diaz.
Combination.
And tried to get them inside channels. Which
Klopp ain't stupid, is he? He's building on the slide. He's looking at his team, going, "I could have Carvalho, Diaz on that left hand side, Elliott and Salah on that right hand side." You know, and then I've got Darwin coming through at the middle, who's only 22. As I think Ayers of the Copper said there, Klopp's real building on the sly and no one's noticing. No one's noticing what he's doing. As I say, Cab, it's just, it's brilliant to see. And there's two people I want to mention as well, because if they keep playing like this next season with their combination play, everyone's in trouble. Trent and Salah. Now, their combination play yesterday for coming on for the first 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes was better than anything I've seen in that first 45. It was ridiculous. Now,
we've
them two together, their combination play.
I'm about to say, when people talk about partnerships, it's usually like two people in the same position and like two centre backs. No one's ever spoken about a right back and a right winger, but this is a new it's actually ridiculous, to be fair. I think Trent always knows where Salah is. Without looking.
Don't even look. He don't even look, does he?
To be fair, you could. I'm not gonna lie, Jay. You could throw Konate in there still, because this geezer seems like the confidence is building every game, man. I mean, there was a part when you was doing commentary yesterday, I was laughing because you saw what I saw. You know when like Mateta burst forward with speed.
And Clark
really fast.
Ate him up.
Yeah. And there was one when it like Palace were gonna get in. I think it was Ayew, and he just stepped around him and took the ball. I was like, okay, this guy
can't get past him.
Yeah, he's doing bits, man. I think, it's a balance thing in Liverpool. It's changing with the rebuild and stuff like that. Because I remember mentioning to you before, Jay, and I don't know if I'm right on it, but when you look at our squad, when you think of a football team, you're like, if there's two positions on either side of the pitch, so there's a right back and left back, a right winger, left winger, you want them balanced in it, doing the same thing on each side of the pitch. But Liverpool's isn't like that. Like Salah and Mane don't do the same thing. I know Mane's not there anymore. Trent and Robbo don't do the same thing because Robbo doesn't cross from where Trent does. Trent will cross from the halfway line. Robbo doesn't. And then the midfield, obviously you got Fabinho sitting always, but then Hendo and Thiago don't do the same thing because Hendo covers Trent and leaves the hole for him in the space, and Thiago does Thiago stuff. When Harvey and Carvalho play, they do the same thing on both sides of the pitch. When Diaz and Salah plays, it looks like they're starting to do the same thing, and it's going to have Nunes in the middle or Jota, and I'm excited for it, bro. Hopefully Jota, I don't know how his injury and stuff.
I don't think we'll see proper Jota back till September.
Is that? It's a shame.
Because if he's out for the whole pre-season, he's not going to come straight back in August, is he? So, which is a shame. Which is wondering. That's why, do we actually need to go into the transfer window this month still to get another player in?
What do you think, Cav, on that? Because I never asked you on that. What do you think about the transfer window?
I think that the transfer, this summer as a whole has been brilliant. I think it'd be brilliant because if you finish last season and you're looking ahead to the summer, what things do you want? You want cover for Trent at right back. You want to tie down your top player. I think we all accepted that before the Champions League final, Mane was going, and that it took a little bit of time, but was done pretty effectively.
Yeah.
And we've got in Carvalho, who looks like a star boy. You know, you've got Elliott back. I think we've strengthened where we need to. I think we still. I personally would still like, and I think you touched upon it earlier, Jamie, a little bit of cover for Mo, just in case. But no, I think the summer's been good, and I think that going into the season, we've got plenty of options to mix it up. The only trouble is you need the likes of Darwin now with Jota's injury and either Elliott or Carvalho or somebody just to hit the ground running. You need one of them new boys coming back in, because as we've seen the past few years fighting with Man City for the title, you can't afford to drop points in any more than 8 games.
Nope.
So, but what I would say on that as well is Man City are going through a bit of a change themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. No one wants to talk about that, though.
Everybody else is strengthening, you know, but they're not. I can't see anybody smashing a 90-point season. Chelsea, United, Arsenal, you know, even Spurs, I think have done great business. But I think they'll still be fighting for that top third space. I don't think they'll be fighting for the top 2. So I still think between Liverpool and Man City. And like I said, I think Man City are having a bit of a change themselves with the players that are going out from their squad. Yeah. The players that are coming in, I think, with the likes of Haaland and stuff, their style of play will change slightly.
It has to. 100%. They're selling their wingers. They're selling their wingers. So they're looking to play a different way. Like Mahrez has got a year left to go. He apparently won't go this season, but you know, he's going to leave eventually. You know, Bernardo Silva, I don't know what's going on there. The rumours is Barcelona winning.
I hope he leaves, bro.
I think that's massive.
If Barcelona get him, the corruption in Spain is ridiculous, by the way, because if this was an English team in Barcelona's situation, one, they'd have a transfer embargo, wouldn't be allowed to buy players. When you're in that much debt, you wouldn't be able to get loans. So it's just, what's happening over there is madness. They've just gone and got
the young money.
Yeah, and they owe De Jong 30 million apparently. They just bought Lewandowski, who's 33, by the way, and they got Aubameyang, who's the same age.
And Rafinha as well.
When you've got money issues and you're in that much debt, why are you buying a 33-year-old? What's going on over there is, and if they've got 80, apparently they're trying to get rid of De Jong now. They want 71 million for him so they can go and buy Bernardo Silva, because apparently they can't register Lewandowski till they've sold De Jong. But they're allowed to buy these players. It's so
I need Bernardo to leave Man City, bro. Honestly,
Bernardo Silva is a quality. He's a quality player.
He ticks them over, man. He's
a rat.
Problem, man.
Don't get me wrong.
Only problem with Man City is if they get rid of him with the transfer window still open and that, you can bet they'll end up with João Felix or someone like that.
Well,
so,
apparently the rumor is if Bernardo Silva goes, they're going straight for Bellingham. So that's the
see
rumor.
what I'm saying, bro.
That's the rumor. But if they don't buy him, are City arguably a little bit weaker than last season? Now
they have to be. Bernardo was one of their best players.
People were saying yesterday, I brought it up on Coppage, they're saying that Haaland was Gabriel Jesus' replacement. I don't believe that.
No, he wasn't.
Haaland was bought because
Jesus spent most of the time on the bench.
Yeah. Haaland was bought just because he's Haaland, and City have always wanted him. It's as simple as that. And they've been asked to. For my opinion, Haaland is Aguero's replacement.
He is. You heard we cannot replace him.
Yeah.
What do you believe?
He's Aguero's replacement. He's just Aguero's replacement because they didn't play with striker last season.
Yeah.
So then they got their striker.
Yeah, Jamie, striker.
Yeah, because Gabriel Jesus.
We had a striker, but they didn't somehow.
Yeah, because Gabriel Jesus is a midfielder. You know what I mean? It's
the important bit of business that Man City have done though is tying down Mahrez as well.
Yeah,
he's an important player for them. You know, because you look at their forward line, there's going to be a bit of adaptation with Haaland being stuck in. Even Alvarez, who's apparently a really good player, but probably needs to develop a bit more. But he needs integrating as well. I don't think Jack Grealish's start's been particularly great. You know, he runs up a pitch and then hits a bit of a wall and doesn't know what to do and plays it back.
Foden
and Mahrez in that front line for them. I think their biggest creators. Obviously they've got De Bruyne in there and quality all round in Cancelo and what have you. But yeah, that forward line is going to take some of that. So I think keeping Mahrez was key, because as good as quality you can bring in, it takes time to bed in. And these
quality. He's
quality, bro.
These systems that Klopp and Guardiola have, you can't just walk in and be a good player and fit. There's so much that you need to learn. So I think both ourselves and Man City will be up there next season, but I think there'll be a slight transition to get them points hauls that we've got. So going back to our summer business, based on that, I think we're sound. I think we're okay.
I agree.
I think the players that we've brought in have got the right mentality. They fit the profile of player that we like to have in terms of their personality and their drive and what have you. So I'm quite comfortable with it. Like I say, it takes a bit of time for Nunes to settle. Takes a bit of time for Carvalho to really be effective or what have you. We just have to accept that, because these lads will come good. And as long as
we've got enough class around the pitch to help them.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree. I said this a couple of weeks ago. Like, everyone was going bad about the season. Like, people were saying this season's over before it began because we ain't got a midfielder in. But then only towards the end of the season, Liverpool fans were saying this is the best squad we've ever seen. And then before the season starts, they're saying the season's over. It's just everyone's headspace is a bit mad at the moment, I think. Once the season starts and we start to get going, I think everyone's settled down a little bit. It's just a stupid summer period.
I actually, I'm not like some weird fan of it. I just struggled to see where everyone was coming from with the sheer panic. If we finish the season, I don't know, man. Like, no trophies, and we finished like third or something like that, even though we're second for the whole season. I kind of understand, but like the margins were so the finest of margins last season for everything we was in. That for me, I'm like, what are you asking for? Like, all of a sudden, the players who've done all of this for us last season are not good enough. I don't get it. I know we've lost Mane. I get it. I get we've lost him, but we lost number 9 Mane, not left winger Mane.
Yeah, we lost one real first team. We've only really lost one first team in this season.
Regan Taki weren't playing, bro. Taki, no. Klopp kept apologising after every match, saying, I'm sad I never brought him with us. And Origi was just at uni somewhere, bro, most of the time, bro.
Yeah,
it pops up in moments for us, of course, because we love him for that.
But he never played.
Very weird. It's like when you said earlier, when I was in the chat and you were speaking to the chat about right wings and stuff like that for Salah cover. And I agree, but me and you spoke about this loads of times about this myth of the rotation business.
Oh, it's a myth.
Just a trigger word now, and it rotation for everything. And I put the stat in the thing, bro. Like, I watched Henry that season, bro, on whatever they are, the Invincibles. And he played 37 Premier League games out of 38, bro. So just don't talk to me about this rotation. And if you when everyone was saying in the chat, it was Carnu and all that. No, it wasn't. Because Wiltord fell off by then and stayed in the squad. I think Carnu played 10 games, and it was Jeremy Aliadier who was Henry's replacement, and he played 10 games as well. So stop that foolishness for a start. Secondly, having somebody there would be nice on it, because obviously Ox has gone down injured again.
It's the hardest position to fill.
I'm not even going to make a joke about Ox anymore, because I actually feel.
What's a shame about Ox, just as you go? I thought Ox looked all right yesterday before it as well.
He looked all right in both
games.
How about
that run? He went from box to box on that run and got to the end of the shot.
I felt bad for him.
That is the
It's always worse when I see somebody just sit down and call for help. Yeah. When they're like in pain, I don't know what it is about that. When somebody sits down and he looks defeated and he starts undoing his shoelace, I'm like, that means that he's been injured that many times that he already knows, like,
he's banging the floor, weren't he? And you know he's gone. Yeah.
So I get it. Having someone in the right wing would be nice, just in case. Or not even just in case. For like cup games, the early rounds and stuff of FA Cup, League Cup, and that, probably don't want to play Salah in them games. And without buying somebody, we can still rearrange people to fit. It'd be nice to have someone. You're right. We're not getting a top player who's going to sit behind Salah. It's like Tottenham trying to get someone to sit behind Kane. It ain't going to happen.
That's why they've had trouble buying a striker. Yeah.
You either have to get somebody experienced and older that are like, they're quite aware that their best years are behind them and they can still offer something, because they'll just be happy to be there. Then it's Liverpool, on it. Or you get somebody who's young and class, and if they're like 20, 21, 22, listen, if they've got the right attitude, it wouldn't bother you that much, because with Salah's age, you're going to be behind him in the pecking order, but by the time Salah leaves and that, you might be in the prime of your career and have still 7 years left at Liverpool to play.
Yeah.
You would have learned from the best. You would have been able to play alongside him. That's why usually that person would be an academy player. It would be somebody who's you already have. That remember, Man City already had Foden from when he was a kid, so it's not like they brought him. He just come in and replaced it, man.
Yeah, so he can play him on the bench.
We were talking about Foden when he was like 9 years old. I remember that. So
it's just a madness on that position. I mean, and I think all this rotation stuff. I think like people, I always talk about it all the time. People tell me, "Oh, Pep does it with City, and look at the players they got." He don't. It's a complete
Champions League. He does, and that's it.
Yeah, but in the Premier League, it's because what they got so many players. Pep Guardiola has got so many players that are extremely versatile. So one week, one game, Bernardo Silva can be playing right side of the front three.
That's what
the next game he's playing the number 10 in the midfield three. But it's not rotated. It's not. No. But it looks like it's rotation on the eye because that player's not in that position no more. But the same players are still in the same team. It's just that I don't get the rotation of best players. I said it. Messi never got rotated for Barcelona. Played every game. Barely got substituted. Man, yes, he picked.
When did Ronaldo get rotated, bro?
Yeah, Messi picked up more injuries in his career than Salah has. You know, but he never got rotated. Ronaldo never got. Can you imagine Neymar. Ronaldo? Imagine going to Ronaldo. All right, we're going to buy
bro.
We're going to buy a £60 million player in.
Yeah.
Because we need someone to cover you just in case. So we might be.
That's why I mentioned Henry because I thought I'd mention the best in the world because Salah is one of the best in the world.
He's the best right-sided forward. There's no better right-sided forward.
Who's in better shape than Salah, bro? I mean, he's never injured.
I mean, he's in peak condition. Why?
It's like what we said about mate. It's very weird, man. And it's like when people keep coming in with like all of a sudden everyone's like the stat guy. And they come in with all the minutes in the chat. Oh, this Hendo played 3,000 minutes and blah, blah. Oh, all right. But, like, just remember, when you put these stats in, you give me no context with them. You didn't tell me what game it was, where in the game he came on, who we were playing against. Because we were playing against Norwich, where no one's legs were bothered. Where we just had the ball the whole game and Thiago passed the ball around. It's weird. It's like saying, oh, yeah, Robbo's played this many. And I'm like, yeah, but for most games we've played, that no one attacks us, bro. They just sit back. So he's just chilling. Alisson needs to be rotated. No, he doesn't. He can stay in goal forever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's injury prone. No, he's not.
The injury prone thing, it's just. It's like someone said about Alisson Day because he's got an abductor muscle.
Mate, somebody said Fabinho was injury prone last season. I'm like, bro,
you've had 3 games off.
You have 3 games off, bro. And one was for COVID.
Well, it's like Bobby, ain't it? I did the Bobby video a week ago and read out his stats. Last season's the only time he's played under 30 games for Liverpool in a Premier League season.
When we won the league, he played.
And everyone said he's injury prone. Games. Yeah, it's just Bobby is just.
What have you thought of Bobby this pre-season? I know it's a bit of a short.
He's been playing a bit.
But
I liked him in the first game.
Yeah, I liked him in the first game. I think Klopp still thinks Bobby's a very important part of this team. And
his touch is incredible. He's going to be that player you'll see.
He's never going to lose his touch.
In 5-10 years' time.
Yeah.
And he'll put on a bit of weight, but he'll still be rocking around playing father.
He's impeccable. It's like Ronaldinho, ain't it? You see Ronaldinho now, ain't it? He's got a little bit of a gut. He dresses like
Jamie, you said it in the watch along when somebody played that long ball over the top into our box and he controlled it.
Oh, the touch, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. He controlled it and then Curtis poked it and the keeper saved it.
Yeah, that's right. He's never going to lose that touch. That's always there. And in fact, he had a little bit of he looked a little bit quicker this pre-season as well than he did last season. I said it last season. The man was just never fit. When he played, he was never fit last season. Same with Thiago. Everyone said Thiago looked phenomenal this season, just gone. And it's like the Bayern Munich Thiago. That's because it's the only time since he's been at Liverpool that he was actually fit. And it just shows when you're fit, you can play. You can play at when you're a top draw footballer. If you're not fit, you can't reach your top standards. And it must annoy you so much.
Mate, Thiago, he's that good that even though we've got a great team, I'm not lying. You can tell he's better than everyone, bro. I don't know what it is. Even the way he touches the ball, I'm like, oh my god, bro, this is horrible,
bro. That shuffle he does. No one ever sees.
It takes everyone out with that.
Yeah, that little
just a simple pass back to his centre backs just looks saucy, just a normal pass.
It's because he's got his own style of pass, and you remember have you ever seen Beckham make a regular pass? It's not a regular pass.
No,
the arm goes behind his back just to make a 5-yard pass.
He's got his own movement to it. And Thiago's the same, and no, Thiago's different, ain't he? I mean, and I said it in my watch along yesterday. As soon as Thiago got the ball, you saw everyone run.
Yeah,
because they know
he's going to find
if he's going to pass, if he's going to do it, is going to be found. It's the same with Trent gets the ball as well. As soon as Trent gets the ball, everyone runs because they know Trent can find you. Trent and Thiago. Yeah, exactly. Trent and Thiago.
Question, lads. Did we? I might have got this wrong. Did we have Thiago against Man City last season in any game?
Only the 2-2 game.
FA Cup one.
Yeah.
The
2-2 game. The second game.
The second one.
Yeah.
Don't know why I don't remember him playing against City, man. Weird.
No, he didn't have the greatest first half in that, but he had a good second half. But the FA Cup, he played the FA Cup. The game we smashed him in. But that 20,
that's the FA Cup,
that 20 minutes in that FA Cup, no one could have lived with us in that game. That was just us at our absolute.
Him against Man U was. I felt like he tore them apart, man. That was horrible.
You started to feel sorry. You started to feel sorry for him in the end.
It's horrible.
You should just take him off. You shouldn't be allowing him on this.
Even Man United fans were actually clapping him when he came off, didn't they?
What else can you do, man?
That's just.
Thiago is one of them guys that when other teams try and banter our players and that, you can see on their face that they can't take it serious what they're saying. You know what I mean? I've seen people do it before. You know, people like, oh, Harry Kane's not that great at finishing, and we're just looking in their face like, come on, man, you know he is. Stop. It's just pointless, man.
Yeah, the only time Thiago makes a mistake is just when it's too easy for him. Just switches off for a moment because this football game is quite easy, isn't it?
I like when he jumps on someone's bigger than him and he just jumps on their back. He's like trying to tackle him, he can't. He just jump on your back.
His leaping ability from
amazing.
It's
great in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really
great slide tackles. Always wins the ball back.
And he's aggressive as well. He's aggressive when he hasn't got the ball.
Hey, that's one thing. You mentioned it yesterday, Jane, the watch along. When Cav was speaking about Harvey just. Do you remember that part where Harvey lost the ball yesterday and he sprinted back he won it back and then carried it back up the pitch? I love that. I love that, man.
No one will talk about that.
That's a Liverpool fan right there. You see it in him, man. That's a Liverpool fan.
But no one will talk about that. That's not a highlight. No one will talk about. We get too caught up in what assists and goals and stuff.
TikTok
like
world, isn't it? TikTok and Instagram real world, man. 30 seconds is enough for people, bro.
Yeah, that's all it is now. And it's like they talk about that with Thiago, don't they? I don't get the assists and goals, but that's not his game. No one looks at the. An assist can be a 1.5 yard pass. You know what I mean? But Thiago could do a 25-yard pass that is no one else in the world can do. But no one looks.
Xavi suffered from that at Barcelona, man. I know that no one should, but no one looks at the pass before the pass, on it. And Xavi was making all them passes to Iniesta, and Iniesta was eating up the assist, bro.
It's just Xavi was. I say it all the time. Xavi's Spain's greatest ever player.
He's incredible, man.
He's
incredible, man.
Absolute machine of a footballer.
What I say to them people, where they criticise Thiago or whatever. Or whoever it is, this is a great position that we're in with our squad now. I just say, oh, who do you support? And then I go, well, do you want him? Would you have him in your team? Always a yes. It's always a yes.
Thiago,
they try to banter you about Thiago and go, okay, well, would you have him in your squad? Without hesitation, you'd have him.
I would.
Arsenal fans are the best for that because they'll take any of our players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if Thiago was a free transfer tomorrow, Arsenal, Man United fans, everyone, even City fans would be like,
all I'm saying is Milner or Xhaka. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Oh, talking about Milner. Forgot about Milner. Milner looked great yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
37 years of age. Was it even sweating?
No, he's got super fitness levels on it, man.
He played 50 minutes, and I thought he looked absolutely fantastic yesterday. And considering he was playing right back, by the way, back, and I thought the abuse Milner gets.
Here's a question for Milner, I don't know that I'm always saying about, like, I'm fed up of people using generational for everyone because it's silly, man. Everyone's not.
Yeah, everyone's
forget Milner just now, Was Milner a generational player? Because, just hear me out, he's still going. We watched him debut at 16. I think he debuted the same season as Rooney, maybe. I think it was that season, 2004. Something like that.
Can't remember.
I'm just saying, bro. Generational is like once in a generation. This player only comes around once in a generation. What other player can play in every other position at a good level? Like, it's not like he plays at every position at 6. It's a 7 or 8, bro. I'm telling you, I'm Milner's levels, bro.
And he's won Man City titles. Going into the end of, was it 13-14 season? He rocked up with some assists. And it was effective. He's been effective for us. Try and find a player that's going to have a 10-year career and be that effective across all of it.
Exactly. And wasn't he the lead assist taker in the Champions League a few years back as well?
Yeah, he was.
In the whole of Europe. It's just people don't like to talk about that, do they? But if it was Kevin De Bruyne who did that, you'd have a trophy made for him. Do you know what I mean? It's just, the disrespect Milner gets. I can understand Liverpool fans like some Liverpool fans are like should Milner actually be playing for us now? He's 37. He's taking a midfield spot. We want these other midfielders coming in taking their spots. Now that's an argument and a debate you can have, and I don't mind that debate. I really don't. But James Milner still gives us something. In fact, James Milner starts for Arsenal's midfield.
Yeah, of course it does.
He's better than Xhaka and he's better than El Neni. Right now.
Jamie, I tell you this now. I guarantee at some point in the season, Arsenal will be on a bad run and all the pundits on telly will be saying Arsenal lack leadership.
Yeah.
I tell you now.
It's every year.
And we've got them. And we've got them and people are criticising them. It's just, they have a place. They have a place, whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch.
I saw Milner
Milner disrespect is mad.
I saw Milner slap our own left back.
He did, man. slapped him, told him wake up on live TV, bro.
That's a leader.
He slapped Shimikas. He was going to fight Klopp. When Klopp subbed him off, he told Klopp to his face, big man, don't never do that again. And then we scored, and then he said, Klopp, I'm sorry, and sat down like a G. He comes to our League Cup games when he doesn't need to be there with the kids. He only drinks Ribena. And in lockdown, he kept everyone entertained with the boring James Milner stuff. Do you remember this stuff he was doing on the grass, cutting the grass with scissors and that? Yeah, this is my guy, bro.
Yeah, I love Millie. The abuse he gets is weird because
I think he's so close to the end of his career now. Well, if he wants to be, first of all, because everyone fed up everyone telling me he's going to be a coach and that. He never told anyone that.
I always say that.
Every Liverpool fan,
give me a year contract with a coach.
Give him a year and he'll stick around and join the coaching staff.
Does he want to be a coach?
When did he tell you that he wanted to be a coach? He never said it. But he's been such a servant to the game of football, to the Premier League, and every club he's played at, that, listen, let the man live out his career. And because everyone talking about he's taking up someone's spot. He's not. He ain't, because Klopp's the manager, innit? And then I'll tell you, we'll buy someone and Klopp will play the new person and then somebody else will get kicked out and Milner will stay in the squad, innit? So that means he just wants Milner there. So just leave him, bro. Just leave him.
You take Milner and you take Henderson out of our squad over the past, say, 3 seasons. I don't think we quite have the same success because you have all the quality and all the talent in the world. If you ain't got them leaders, and obviously Klopp is the main man, he's the leader, but they're leaders below him. They report to him. They sort out the little day-to-day
They're his
things.
generals. They're his generals,
aren't they? Exactly. Yeah. So they're crucial. I
think people think Milner's unaware of his limitations. He's not. He's not stupid.
Milner knows he's 37. It's not. You don't think he's 21 and can still do it.
Unaware that when if somebody sprints past him, he'll just kick you on the floor because he knows. He knows I can't catch you. I'm gonna kick you, bro. Take on for the team. I'll come on the pitch.
There's nothing.
Put one on you like you did on Reece James in the FA Cup.
Yeah, you didn't see Reece James again after that, did you? There's nothing better than to see Milner come off the suspension. I actually prefer Milner coming off the suspension, Naby Keita.
Yeah, me too, man.
Because I know Milner's going to fuck shit up when he comes on.
Yeah,
Would you put it past that when Milner finishes his career, seeing him like you turn up at a Saturday league game and Milner's just on someone's team? And have you run out? You run out of money, Milner? It's like, nah. I just needed to be around the game still, so I thought I'd play with these roughheads, bro.
I think Milner's going to play. I don't think Milner's going to retire anytime soon. I think Milner's going to play.
Sometimes you love the game too much.
I think he's going to play till he's 40. I think he wants to break the record in the Premier League. I think he'll play till he's 40.
Teddy Sheringham's got the record at the moment. Never stopped.
He fits the fiddle. I just see him playing the heat and humidity of Singapore. And he was so busy playing at right back, and he looked as fit as a fiddle, And no, he's going to play till he's 40, and he'd probably be his last year at Liverpool. But man, what a servant he's been!
If it is his last year at Liverpool, man, I hope he gets to go back to Leeds, bro.
Yeah,
it'll be a nice touch on it.
Have a couple of years at Leeds and finish off at his 40th. Yeah, I mean that's what he needs to do. But
I don't mind people not wanting him in the squad. I don't mind it. Everyone has their choice. Some people it gets too much. I don't mind in it. But when it comes to disrespecting him and saying stuff just for the sake of it,
that's a beery. Milner is
this what I'm saying, bro.
Choice
Mate, look how he started pre-season. He started at right back.
Yeah.
When we played against Southampton.
Yeah.
And Gomez got injured. Milner right back. No right backs were left. You just put him straight there, and he didn't mind. He played left back for a whole season. When we didn't have Robbo.
Yeah.
Just saying, man, like These people don't come on. Listen, I know that I'm not super old school in it. I actually do advance with the times, but there's some things in football that just don't need to change in it. They just don't like. Soon enough, we'll have a virtual referee in that like FIFA '98 when there's no ref on the pitch.
trophy cupboard is bigger than Arsenal's.
Is I don't need everything in football to change. And a bit of the old school, you know what I mean, to keep people in check. That's the reason. What Cav said. The reason why Liverpool seems to be run so cohesive and everyone seems on the same page is because of people like Milner and Hendo and that. You think somebody who's got like a massive attitude problem and thinks it's a superstar come to Liverpool? It won't work, bro. It won't work. Get shut down real quick, bro. Neymar couldn't come to Liverpool.
No. Well, we've had them. You know, Harvey's has had a bit of a rude awakening, hasn't he?
Balotelli.
You know, even Nunes just now. I know I don't particularly like him tweeting a response already, but they'll talk to him. You know, you can be assured that they'll have a word.
What's Nunes tweeting today? I heard he tweeted today. What did he say?
I seen the one with the couple of emojis. You know, he's pointing to the ear in the shushing thing. But
or was he responding to somebody?
I think it was just a post. I think it was just the caption underneath photos of him during the game.
Hang on. I'm just looking at Webby's comment. Jesus Christ, Webby, you stalking me, mate? Webby just said, Jamie, I just jumped on the train at Dartford. I'll be going past your garden. Don't forget the wave. It's seriously worrying. It's seriously worrying.
Enemy the state high-tech stuff in his house, bro.
Because the train line is literally at the end of my garden. And it's that route.
Webby's got you on Google Earth, bro. Just watching you on that.
Hey, if you ever need to question how effective Milner is, right? Like you say, he slapped Simicast and told him to wake up. And have you seen Simicast now? Fresh haircut, glow, eye bags have gone. It works. Oh, man. The guys look.
Simicast, the way he's at our team, man, is infectious, bro. This man is so happy to play for Liverpool all the time. He's so happy, bro.
I love Simicast, but not as I love this next man. We'll talk about him before we finish up now. Our captain, Jordan Henderson.
Guy, man.
Now,
respect our captain. That is the quote going forward. Respect our captain.
Still don't understand the abuse captain gets.
Most legendary number 14 since Henry said it. Okay.
He's what he does for us on the pitch. No, like people look. Could we get technically better footballers than Henderson in our midfield? Of course we can. No one's saying we couldn't. Yeah, but it's not just that job that Henderson does for the team. It's the off the ball stuff, the leadership, all that sort of stuff comes into it. That's why he plays, and he has got technical ability. All this stuff that I'm just about to say, he's Henderson's a dead footballer and all that. He's not. He's a technically good footballer. I mean, go back to his Sunderland days when he was a young winger. He was a technically good footballer. He just moulded himself into something else now. I mean, he went for one of these shots yesterday. It actually worked and he scored. He does that a lot, but it don't always pay off.
That goal he scored yesterday is the only type of goal he scores, isn't it? He always scores that goal.
He likes coming onto the ball late and scoring like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's only once a season, but all right.
He's very good at it. I'd like to see him get into them positions a bit more.
Because when his career finishes and it has Liverpool top 10, there will only be 10 of them, but they'll all be bangers.
Yeah, they're all bangers. But, I like Hendo. Should he be our number 8? I'm not sure. I'm still I think over a longevity of a season, I think it'll be between. I think Harvey and Hendo are going to rotate that number 8 position quite a lot during the season. I think that's going to be the two. I think Hendo will start some games. Harvey will start some games. I think Harvey might be the substitute replacement for Hendo if Harvey's on the bench and vice versa. I think Keita will be Thiago's substitution replacement. I think if Thiago starts, Keita will be his replacement. If Keita starts, Thiago, vice versa. I think that's how they're looking at. If Fabinho can't play at any time, Hendo at the 6, I do not mind at all. I think he's very good in that position. I think he's decent there. But yeah, I don't get the abuse he gets. I thought he was good yesterday. He's great leadership skills. And did you see when he was coming off and the second team was coming on at half time and he went out to Trent because he needed to give Trent some advice, tell him what's going on, how their players team are playing. That's the sort of you get rid of that. Who's going to do that job? You can't lose. I think we're all in this day of football now where we just look at techie players and we want all these techie players. You know, our real techie players off earlier. I said about Anthony. I ain't seen much of him at Ajax. He looks very good on the eye, very techie on the eye, but 7 or 8 goals. You know, is it good? Is it not? I don't know. But Bowen got the same amount of goals or more in the Premier League. So if I had to choose one of them, I'm going for Bowen. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But Anthony looks better on the eye. You know, Jack Grealish. I always say the Jack Grealish thing. Jack Grealish looks great on the eye. You know, he's a pretty lad as well. But you know, he's very good on the eye. Got good technique. Got good skill. His end product isn't as good as James Maddison's. But everyone prefers Jack Grealish to James Maddison. But I think James Maddison's a better player.
Because then Villa was a big fish in small pond.
Yeah, and I think Maddison's got better end product. And so for me, I'll take Maddison over Jack Grealish. So I look at that sort of thing when I'm looking at players, and that's what I look at. And with Hendo, I see his overall game that he gives Liverpool Football Club. And, you know, he was the captain that won us the league after 30 years. He won the Champions League. He's been the 3 Champions League finals. You know, he's won every trophy now for Liverpool Football Club. And does all that happen without him in the team? I'm not sure. I
don't think so. Yeah, Gerrard handed over that band to him, and I think the thing is, I'll say this on it, because I think sometimes we get caught in a bubble when we hear everyone talking rubbish and then you forget that, like, the internet is the internet, and it's not all Liverpool fans. The majority are not the ones talking, and I don't know who I'm talking to in it. I don't know how old you are. I don't know what your knowledge is of football or whatever. Exactly. I don't know if you're watching like a minute clips, Sky Sports clips, or you're watching the whole game. But for me, Hendo, he suffers from being selfless, and when you're selfless and you're doing all the other jobs, what people don't like Trent knows. You've seen Trent in the documentary. There's a reason why Trent's face lights up when he talks about him, because he knows, no Hendo, I might not even be in the squad yet. They might just went and brought another right back. He offers him so much on that right-hand side, to the point where I think he offered him so much that Trent's evolved and doesn't need him as much anymore, which is a good thing. That's what you want. You don't want him babysitting. Nope. But the amount of times I watch Hendo just drop into that hole and just let Trent do what he wants. I'm like, Thiago doesn't do that on the other side for Robbo. If Robbo leaves, then that gap's there and you got to deal with it. Robbo will run back. But it's completely different. And yeah, the same with the technical ability. He's got tech, and the reason why it shows every now and again is because it's when he chooses to use it. Otherwise, from that, facilitates, man. Give me the ball from the defense. I'll pass it off simple to somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Literally the only problem I ever have with Hendo, and everyone has faults, it's just that stupid cross to the back post what don't work. That's it. That's only when the low block is terrible and we can't get through. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna send it to the back post, and I hope that Jota grows and headers it. Even though Jota's got the best leap in the squad, but I hope he gets taller and headers it in. Apart from that, it's class. I wish he would shoot more as well. That's the one thing, because he actually doesn't shoot often. I don't know what his shot to goal conversion is. I bet it looks amazing because he hardly ever shoots, but he can hit them. He can hit them, man, and he's got space to do it. It's popular people who do that. Him,
they see Milan goal last season, weren't bad, was it?
No.
See what I'm saying? Yeah, him, Bobby, and Matip in the squad. Just for some reason, even when there's a big gaping hole, they'd rather pass the ball to someone than shoot. Matip could be on about 7 goals last season, and all of the goals would have been world class because he would have ran through the squad. He would have ran through everyone and then scored. So that's what. Cav, take it away, man. I know you got some stuff. Yeah. Hendo's a legend. I'm sorry, man.
One of the highlights of the season, seeing Matip score, was it Leeds? Where
I love it, man.
It's been coming. And finally got it against Leeds, and it was great. But no, like you said, Lil, we touched upon it earlier with Henderson. His effectiveness off the pitch, the humility of the man is unquestionable. You know, he's an amazing person to have around the squad. Don't ever underestimate a good person. You know, with a good heart, a strong mentality, drive, work rate, and being in and around that squad, it's massive. It's important for success. But on the pitch, you've touched upon it. He fills in them spaces really well behind Trent. He knows he has to do that when he plays. It's something that, whether it be Harvey Elliott that plays on that side, he's also going to have to learn that he needs to do that because of how good Trent and Salah are and how effective they are going forward. That's one thing that you are going to have to cover from on that right side, and he does that so well. His passing range is pretty good. You know, picks out some good long balls at times. Like you say, he's not got a bad shot on him. You just don't see it quite enough. I think he's criticised quite a lot on that. And you've alluded to it, that where Salah or someone pulls it back and he just whips it first time.
He does. He does
you
love
know
that
it's
pass.
coming. You know it's coming, and you kind of know it's not going to work. I mean, it might change with Nunes in there now, and if it does, we're all going to be raving about Henderson next season. But he's an effective player. He plays on that right centre mid position well. You know, he's not going to be, for the people that love to read stats and boast stats. He's not going to be a guy. He's not going to be anywhere near that. You know, for people that watch Liverpool, there's so many other stars and techie and flair players on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's perhaps not going to stand out, but he does a job. He's effective. And I think as long as he's teaching the youngsters, you know, if Harvey comes in and takes that place, which I think he probably will next season, as long as he continues to fight, which, look, Henderson's had to fight all his Liverpool career, you know, to win over fans and also to be in that team. You know, when we were trying to get rid of him, he said he'd stay and he fight, and he's done that, and he's been successful. So I think, and I'd like to think Henderson, I don't know the guy, I never spoke to him, not even close, but I'd like to think as much as he's encouraging the youngsters and will fill that spot in the starting 11 when he needs to, I think in the background he'll be fighting for that place, and I think I think he'll do an effective job when he's on the pitch. You know, I just think,
will.
And credit to him, to be fair, you know, is he 31 now?
31,
he's still a fit player.
Yeah, he does look 31, doesn't he? Yeah, exactly. He's a machine.
And for any player that's captain, that's won what he has with us, and he's an emotional guy as well. You're seeing it after the Champions League final when it's tears pouring out of eyes and stuff. He's dedicated himself to this club, so he deserves a level of respect from everybody. But I think next season ahead, I think we'll probably see a natural phasing out of the team. But I think for the time
he'll take the Milner spot.
He'll end up in just Champions League games eventually, and then slowly die out. And that, he can make a great movie of Hendo with his whole story. Make a great movie there.
And that pass at United outside of the foot round.
I won't forget about
moments of quality.
Took it off Pogba outside of the foot to Salah. Great bit of play.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. You know, I do like to watch Henderson in the Premier League games because he gets it. You know, some players, they just get it. They've played against them players before. You know, when he picked that ball off of Pogba, he knew it was Pogba on the ball. Yeah. You know, he knew if he barges in and is aggressive, he'll get it. And he's an experienced player in this league. You know, if there's ever moments where the referee's made a poor decision or whatever, he'll be over there. You know, he'll be in his face. And it's that side of the game that he does quite well as well. Because you can be the best team on the pitch. It don't necessarily mean you win. Sometimes you have got to be in the ref's ear and you've got to be barking at your teammates and stuff. That's what sometimes drags you over the line.
I love it, man. My favourite thing is watching him tell Van Dijk off. Anyone who tells Virgil off, it makes me laugh.
And Virgil takes it as well.
Last season,
and have you heard Virgil talk about Hendo?
Virgil just take it.
Hendo?
They love him,
Virgil says he's the captain. He tells me what to do. I'll do it. Simple as that.
When Klopp speaks about Hendo, he looks like he's gonna cry, bro. I'm not even joking, bro. Every time.
Hendo.
Yeah, he's a massive guy, and I know, like we've seen in it. Like some people don't care about off the pitch stuff, but it translates, bro. And we saw him in COVID organising stuff with all the Premier League captains and stuff.
That was
like
him.
That. Even when I watched the Anton Ferdinand documentary with the Suarez stuff and John Terry racism and that, mate. Listen, Hendo really didn't have much to do with that. He was younger then, you know what I mean? He just followed what everyone else done, and he went out of his way to meet him on the documentary. Terry didn't turn up to the documentary.
John Terry's
Hendo's my guy, man.
Yeah, but John Terry,
Endo
and John Terry do not belong in the same sentence. Hendo's Hendo is a human being of great standard, and John Terry's just a worm.
Yeah, it seems like the modern professional in it. Hendo's had no scandals, nothing, bro. Just
Hendo don't get people to come to the training ground and pay him to be looked around. You know what I mean?
And also, I like the fact that relationship he has with Klopp and that outpour of emotion.
It's almost father.
That's what we're doing this for. You know, what's the point of winning a league title or Champions League or major honours if there's no emotion behind it? You know, you might as well go support Man City. You know, that's why we had the slogan a few years back of "This means more," because we're an emotional club, and when we win,
I'm so glad Cav said that, man, because I've been saying that in the chat for weeks, man. Like, how do you want to be a football fan with no emotion behind it? Do you guys see when Lallana left Liverpool and he was giving his interview and he started crying over Henderson?
Because Hendo's his best mate.
He was just on about how proud of him he is that he works, because obviously he was in Hendo's dark times and that was the geezer he was talking to.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this
mate.
guy's crying over his friend's career, bro.
Like you're watching a grown man cry about another man.
Yeah, Hendo's a serious guy. Bro.
It's actually
Respect
a beautiful.
Our
it's actually
captain, bro.
It's actually a beautiful thing to see. Do you know what I mean?
I love it,
actually a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah,
but no,
respect,
Endo.
yeah.
I hope he gets a bit more respect coming into this season, and people actually start to realise what Jordan Henderson actually gives this team. It's not just about.
And I love the Hendo shuffle, bro. I love it.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better.
I love it, man.
It's the best trophy. It's the best trophy lift out of anyone I've ever seen.
It makes the best canvases for your house. I'll tell you that, man. Go look at all the trophy celebrations. Get them on a canvas in your house. It looks incredible, bro.
They're beautiful. But Endo's a man, guys. Endo's a man, and I'm going to continue. But we're going to have to leave it there, guys. Been going on for a while. We are back at 8 p.m. tonight, guys, with another debate show. So Savage will be back for that. I've got Tommy, a Tottenham fan, on as well. I've got Cass, who's a Man United fan, on as well.
Hold on. Is Cass the one off Dapsh's channel, bro?
Yeah.
Listen, if you better not start squeaky voicing it, bro, and flapping it, he gets emotional, he does, man. Like, I'm not having it off no United fan, bro. If he starts talking whap about Klopp and that, it's going off, bro.
That's what it's about.
You get a Chelsea fan in?
I'm trying to, but they're all cancelling on me at the moment.
Message. What's his name again? I forgot his name. He does a Prem panel show with Coppish. He's cool, man.
Yeah, I've messaged him. He hasn't got back to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah, Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah, Lewis ain't got back to me. Jem was going to try, but he can't make it, and some others.
You know about these Chelsea fans? They're depressed, and it's into Abramovich, bro.
Yeah, so they. I just wanted to what the debate show is about tonight. It's basically who can actually challenge Man City and what's teams' expectations. A certain Guna Lee might be on as well.
Oh, hearing from United and Arsenal fans should be fun, man.
So I'm getting hopefully Guna Lee will be here as well tonight as well. So getting an Arsenal. I just want an Arsenal fans. I spoke to some Arsenal fans who are not expecting anything this season, and some Arsenal fans who think they can get top 3. So yeah,
I predict that the documentary will be better than their season.
And I might actually do a watch along for their first episode yet.
Please do, man. Lego heads in the mud, bro.
Because it's my birthday is the 2nd of August, so I'm also doing a birthday celebration that day as well. So that should be a good show, getting everyone on having a birthday celebration. So there's a lot coming up on the channel. Obviously, watch-alongs, 2 more watch-alongs of the pre-season games in Austria next week. Then the Community Shield, we're doing one for that as well. And then the season starts, guys. So lots coming up on the channel. We are on the way to 3K now. We're almost at 2,300 right now, so we're on the way.
I reckon you make it to 5K before you leave to talk sport, bro. So what I'm saying is, you might as well, Jay. Think about it. You're gonna be busy in it. You might as well sell the channel to me when you get to 5K, bro, because you're gonna be at Talk Sport and that. I'll make sure I'll keep it in your name. You know what I mean? I'll just change it to Jamie Phillips and Hugo's football chat, and then I'll be there for you, bro. I'll make sure the kids get all the super chat proceedings. You know what I mean?
Remember,
you're going to be working with Simon Jordan and Jim White and them, man, bro. So, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't mind Jim White, you know. Man's 65 today, and he don't look a bit.
Yeah, only thing is you're going to have to deal with Jamie O'Hara on a weekday.
I can't deal with. I'll probably hit Jamie O'Hara.
Hey, at least she got Woodsy there, bro. She's got more knowledge than a lot of them, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's definitely got a face for radio, though. Let's put it that way.
I know Woodsy still. I actually know her. She's cool, man.
She's cool. I like her, but she's a bit. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, keep it to yourself, Joe. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. So emails are being recalled. Right?
I'll leave it there. You never know. I might be taking her old job on another broadcast. So that's all I can say. Right.
Okay. Oh, I know where you're going, bro. I know.
So, guys, I'll be back at 8 p.m. tonight. Big up Cav, big up Savage. And
cheers,
Cav,
guys.
You're brilliant on the. Have you got your own
Cav,
channel?
what you want, man? What socials you want, Cav?
No, I'm just a fan. I've never even. This is the first time I've ever been on YouTube.
Cav seems like he's been on YouTube for years, bro.
No, I swear.
Cav, you speak so well, mate.
I just watch the show. I just watch every Liverpool game. I go to a few where I can. Just been successful in the ballot on one of the games as well. So I just love football, man. I love talking about football. I play football. So
Kev, I'm gonna get you on I'm gonna get you on loads more, mate, because you talk so much.
Just give us a shout. Give us a shout. I'm free. I'll always come in and talk Liverpool. No doubt.
Definitely. Right, guys. See you at 8 p.m. tonight.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.